Welcome to Pulaski Stadium on Milwaukee's south side. It's a Milwaukee City Conference matchup tonight. A Richardson Division showdown between two undefeated teams. It's Milwaukee King taking on Milwaukee Riverside. Good evening, everyone. Along with Hall of Fame coach Terry Kelly, I'm John Weiser. Glad you could be with us tonight. Coach, a couple of 6-0 teams playoff eligible and trying to settle this Richardson Division.
And so often happens. They're here again tonight, facing off with one another, really trying to see who can merge on top of the Richardson.
I would say these two teams are evenly matched here on paper. You would look at it and say this should be an exciting game.
Both teams have 3 shutouts apiece. They've been scoring at a high rate of points per game and really can crank it up.
We'll talk about our players to watch here tonight. We'll start first for Milwaukee King. On offense, we're going to see Mike Dupree, but in a different position.
Mike Dupree is going to be pressed into service tonight at quarterback. Outstanding running back. We'll see what he can do leading the offense.
And then the fine sophomore split end, Jerry Cross.
We saw Jerry Cross last year as a freshman, was already starting, and very, very athletic young man.
And then on defense for the Generals, a senior outside linebacker, Aiden Mitchell.
He sets the edge on that defensive front for King and is looked to as their real leader.
And a junior in that defensive backfield, Javon Bird.
Javon's got 4 interceptions already on the year, really covers ground back there.
For Riverside tonight offensively, a pair of running backs. We'll start first with Jameer Hayes.
Jameer Hayes is the second leading rusher for Riverside this year. Has really been a consistent force for them in the backfield.
And the guy we've seen before, Emil Jackson.
Emil Jackson was the player of the year on offense in the Richardson Division last year. Is off to an excellent start again this year.
And then defensively for the Tigers tonight, a senior, Amon Williams.
Amon has a preferred walk-on offer. He's accepted from Wisconsin. Outstanding defensive back. And then we've also put together twin brothers. I wasn't going to mention just one, but you got Markel and Mantrell Rash. They both really anchor a strong defensive front.
Should be a great matchup here tonight between these two city conference teams. Now, as part of tonight's special pregame activities, we held a punt, pass, and kick competition featuring 3 Milwaukee firefighters and 3 Milwaukee police officers going head-to-head to determine the Milwaukee's first responder night punt, pass, and kick champion. Each participant was given 3 punts, 3 passes, 3 place kicks, and the score of each attempt was calculated based on both distance and accuracy. For the police department, we had David Lopez, Dave Paskowitz, and Kent Gordon. And on the firefighters side, all grads from Riverside. They were Schuyler Bilot and Jared Triplett and Robert Kendall III. And in the end, it was the police department, Kent Gordon of the Milwaukee Police Department and Jared Triplett in the finals, and it was Gordon the winner with a score of 141. So congratulations to the Milwaukee First Responders Night punt, pass, and kick competition. When we return, Mike will have the coaches as we return to Pulaski Stadium, our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights Special Edition. Salute to Milwaukee First Responders.
Welcome back to the Heiser Automotive Thursday Night Lights football game of the week. I'm Mike McGivern alongside the 2 head coaches tonight, Tom Wozniak at King, Patrick Wagner at Riverside. Guys, we had special guests at your practices today, or this week I should say. You had a Riverside alum who is the assistant chief for the fire department. His name is Chief Lipinski. What does that mean to you guys, for your players to see a Riverside alum that is so high up in the fire department?
It's an honor just to see that our kids can achieve that type of level of success, right, at anything they do. But we have a ton of fire department guys who played for me, and it just, like I said, it's an honor to have that come on.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Coach, same question for you. Chief Morales, who's a pretty good football player in his own right, came over and got a chance to talk to your kids.
Yeah, it was a great honor, like Coach Wagner said, and anytime we can have somebody, with that kind of clout come out and talk to the boys, they really soak it up.
Yeah, I agree, and they listen, and they love to see guys like that are heroes in our community be able to come out and talk to you. Hey, let's talk about tonight's game, Coach. Undefeated in the city conference. How are you feeling about this group? I know there's a couple of players not going to be able to play tonight, but still feel pretty good about these guys?
Oh, yeah, we've been playing pretty well, and we're up to the challenge.
Yeah, I agree. Looking forward to seeing your team play. Coach, I had a chance to have you in studio a few weeks ago, and you talked a lot about your defense. Said offensively you're pretty good as well. Still feeling about that group, how you did back then?
Yeah, just keep growing, right? Trying to get better every day, so
yeah,
pretty same.
Hey, so the conference, you guys both played some really difficult non-conference games, and certainly that gets you prepared for a game like this, correct?
I hope so. I mean, anytime I play King, you got to bring your A game, otherwise you'll be sitting down on your butt somewhere, right?
Yeah, you guys have been coaching against each other for a while, but those non-conference games, same question for you, gets you prepared for a game like this?
Yeah, we're trying to challenge ourselves in those non-conference games so we can know where we're at when the regular season starts, and like you said, be ready to play a tough team like Riverside.
Yeah, I agree, guys. We're here at Pulaski, and they've done a great deal as far as the field. It's beautiful. They upgraded it. It looks great, feels great. You got to be pretty proud of this.
I am. It's a wonderful facility right now. And from what we've gone through from the last couple of years to having 4 field turf stadiums, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, it is. Guys, thank you so much. Good luck tonight, Coach. Good to see you. Good to see you. On the other side of the break, Terry Kelly, John Weiser get the call of the game. This is the Heiser Automotive Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week.
And welcome back to the newly refurbished Pulaski Stadium here in Milwaukee. New field turf, brand new scoreboard, new 8-lane track. Coach Kelly, gotta love that. And as you heard the coaches mention, now 4 turfed fields in MPS.
Right, and it's wonderful that the kids get to play at such a fine facility. Weather's not going to have such an impact on a game because of the field turf conditions.
It is the Riverside homecoming tonight, and the Riverside Band will lead us in our national anthem. A Richardson Division showdown tonight out of the Milwaukee City Conference. 2 undefeated teams tonight in King and Riverside once again in a battle to see who wins that division championship. They'll have a crossover week 9 with the Blackburn Division to determine the true City Conference champion.
Yeah, both of these teams have qualified for the playoffs, so they're going into this game. They know that how much it means to be able to have bragging rights in the city.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game here tonight as the Riverside Tigers take the field. We'll start first with Rufus King tonight.
Well, Coach Tom Wozniak thought there were 3 key things that would be essential to King winning this game. You know, first of all, they can't turn the ball over. They know that will really bite them. They have to contain explosive plays. Riverside is very capable of exploding, and they have to control the clock.
On the other side for the Tigers tonight.
Well, Pat Wagner would like to see his team utilize the passing game much more effectively. They need to eliminate those costly penalties that have bitten them on a couple of occasions, and they want to keep moving the chains.
Should be an exciting matchup here tonight. Again, a reminder that tonight's Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Watch Live button, You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. A reminder that tonight's game will be rebroadcast tomorrow night, Friday night, right here at 7 o'clock on My 24. King in the white jerseys, Riverside in the all black tonight. Black jerseys with the white numerals. We like that. King won the coin toss tonight. They have deferred to the second half, so they will be kicking off. The wind will be a factor here, at least early on tonight. It was quite blustery out there during our pregame.
Quite a change from Monday's weather. Everybody was in shirt sleeves when we visited the practices, and now tonight it seems like fall is here.
The always dangerous Amon Williams back deep, along with Marquise Jones for Riverside tonight.
Well, Amon Williams has returned 2 punts so far this year for touchdowns. Preferred walk-on for University of Wisconsin. And I think not only are they looking at him as a defensive back, but they see his prowess at returning kicks.
James Finley has it teed up. And again, our kickoff tonight brought to you by Mixac, MCSAC, and TobaccoIsChanging.com. And the opening kick will bounce to Amon Williams at the 21. To the 30, and he is wrapped up immediately there. Kayshawn Price and Aiden Mitchell getting down there on special teams for the Generals. So we'll get a look at the offense for the Tigers tonight. Izzy Tenagero in at quarterback.
Yeah, Izzy is, he has 2 very fine running backs, and Izzy himself carries the ball rather well. They look to run first, but Coach Wagner would like to see if they can get the passing game going tonight.
5'8", 175, a senior at quarterback. Just 4 for 18, 59 yards and a touchdown last week against Hamilton. Marquise Jones in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. And the toss to Jones coming around the left side. Trying to get the edge, will get to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Coughed up the ball, and it was recovered by Riverside. Tough little play there for Jones, 5'5", 140, a senior, trying to get that edge on that left side.
Right, they've got a number of backs you'll see shuffling in tonight for Riverside.
There you see the offense. Tenahero at quarterback, Hayes and Jackson, his running backs. Collier and Williams at the wide receiving core, along with Thomas, the tight end. Very good offensive line. Coach Wags talking about it as maybe his best in his tenure there.
Even though they're rather young, you've got a freshman starting in center. He still feels that they are really emerging.
Williams in motion. They'll throw. Tenahero coming back near side. Nobody there. Dangerous pass there. His receiver was cutting upfield. Malik Williams up toward the middle of the field and didn't stay here on this near sideline.
Yeah, a little difference in how the play was being run from what Izzy anticipated.
So sets up 3rd and 7 here for the Tigers. They will bunch 3 receivers here to the near side, a single back in the backfield. King walking up, showing blitz. They will drop back. Tenahero rolling with time, going to throw it, looking for Williams. Ball in the air, nearly picked off, deflected off the shoulder pad of the defender, Kai Ross out there, the senior, able to make a play on that ball, jumped the route in front of Williams.
Yeah, Kai Ross last year was an all-conference running back, but they've been primarily using him on defense, and you can see why. Really covered a lot of ground to get into the path of the ball.
Amon Williams will do the punting here for Riverside. Back to receive, a very dangerous Mike Dupree, very fast. And it'll be a low kick off the side of his foot. Ground ball that will work its way inside the 20-yard line. And will roll dead at the 11. So King pinned back on their first possession here tonight. 10:42 to go in a scoreless game. DJ Alston getting down there to down it for Riverside. So we're going to look at the King offense and a new look here for this week's game.
Right. King does not have its starting quarterback due to a situation that emerged in last week's game. So by rule, he has to sit out this game, and so they've moved Dupree from halfback to quarterback.
We'll see Lamar Webb. We'll see Kai Ross. We'll also see Solomon Dotson back there as a running back. Cross and Talley, along with Toombs, the receivers. And a pretty darn good offensive line that's missing an all-conference player in Jared Knox, out with a hamstring injury. From the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. They will try and run it, and nothing there for Riverside. Ball came out, but I heard a whistle. Looked like Devin Perez getting up there to make the stop up front for the Tigers. Perez, a 6'2", 299 junior at inside tackle.
Yeah, both these teams prefer to run over pass, and King likes to run that option.
We've got a King player down. We'll set the Riverside defense for you. The Rash twins right there on the same side of the ball. On the left side, we mentioned Perez, who came in and made that stop. A couple of good linebackers in there in Blackshear and Allen. And in that secondary, you've got the all-conference player of the year, Amon Williams, playing free safety back there.
That's Solomon Dotson, who, I'm not sure whether got a little ankle sprain or what's going on there.
Well, while they sort out this injury, we'll send it down to Mike in an interview with Keisha Buford.
Hey guys, thank you very much. I'm here with Keisha Buford. She is the recruiter for the Police and Fire Commission. Thank you, and she's a proud Rufus King, Milwaukee King graduate. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things you guys are looking for as a recruiter.
So we're out here now promoting the Fire Cadet and Police Aid programs. They are 2-year apprenticeships with the Milwaukee Fire and Police Department. And the amazing thing about it is they're not only getting paid, they're not only getting trained for their career, but they're guaranteed a position on the departments once they complete the program.
Boy, that's awesome. This is a great place for you to be around as far as recruiting kids this age.
Yes. We're so excited once again because we're with the Generals and the Tigers, and we're here to represent the game and once again recruit the amazing students here. We're looking for students between the ages of 17 to 20 and current seniors or recent graduates.
Excellent. I'm not going to ask you who you think is going to win that game. I'm just not, but this is who she thinks, boys. Back to you.
Dupree trying the right side, brought down by Blackshear, the inside linebacker. The injured player was Solomon Dotson, and he was the starting running back there. So now we'll see more of Kai Ross perhaps in that backfield.
And also worrisome for King is the fact that Solomon Dotson is starting outside linebacker on that King defense.
We mentioned Mike Dupree, the halfback, rolled up 725 yards already this season, but pressed into duty at quarterback here tonight. Facing a 3rd and 10. And he'll put it up for the first time. Going to heave it down the sideline, and it's in and out of the hands, incomplete. Looking for the big sophomore, Jerry Cross, 6'5", 220. Hazelwood, the cornerback, in coverage.
And that's quite a height disadvantage for Hazelwood at 5'8", going against Jerry Cross at 6'5".
We take another look. Jerry actually had the ball in his hands, just could not gather it in. So each team with a 3 and out here early on. Trent Martin will do the punting here for the Generals. And a very dangerous Amon Williams, who's returned 2 punts back already for touchdowns this year, standing near the 40-yard line. And this will be a kick that will bounce inside the 20, picked up by the short man and rolled up at the 15-yard line. As picking up that play was Kira Allen, and it was Frank Owens for King who was able to bring him down.
Also have to point out that the quarterback who has to sit out tonight for King was also the long snapper on kicks. So you can see how that has had a effect on many different phases of the game.
Let's head to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Guys, Coach Wagner said to his players, just relax. Second time we get the ball, take care of business. And I think what you're going to see, second or third play, they're going to try to maybe get the ball number 11 here on wide out. He's an awfully good football player, number 11 for Riverside.
Jameer Hayes on that first down play. Stop for no gain. Aiden Mitchell made sure of that. Second down and about 11 here. Ball at the 15-yard line. They'll try the near side, down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. First carry of the night, Emil Jackson. 6'2", 185 out of that running back slot. James Finley made the tackle for the Generals.
As we mentioned earlier, Emil was the player of the year in the backfield in the Richardson division last year. Excellent speed.
Gain of about 7. Bring up a 3rd and 3. They'll try inside, bouncing it back to the outside to the goal line. Touchdown, Riverside. Jameer Hayes able to run it in from 8 yards out. 7th touchdown of the year for Hayes.
You know, that's a nice balanced backfield. You've got Hayes, who's rushed for 331 yards on the year. Emil Jackson, 364. It's a nice option to have.
There was a penalty marker after the play. Be a block in the back actually during the play, so they'll take that touchdown away. Cal Stanky,
delay of game
our
by
referee
throwing
here
the ball,
tonight.
player 24. One live ball, one dead ball, both will be enforced.
So we've got actually 2 penalties here on Riverside. Saw a block in the back, and then I saw a delay signal by Stanky, our official tonight, working in his 29th year now, officiating high school football. They'll try the inside handoff again and wrapped up immediately. Bailey able to get in there on that stop. Now bring up 4th down for the Tigers. Yeah, they took the touchdown off for that block in the back penalty and looked like a delay in getting the ball back to the officials. And now the officials are stopping play here, a timeout taken by Riverside. 7:10 to go here in our first quarter. A scoreless first quarter here at Pulaski Stadium.
Well, Riverside doesn't like to try to kick the extra point as often as they'll go for 2.
Let's head down to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm here with Dr. Gloria Jacobson. She is the Dean of Nursing at Carthage. She's been here 3 months. At Cardinal Church, excuse me. It's right on my sheet, too. I'm so sorry. Welcome. And so what a great opportunity for you to be in front of high school age kids, talk a little bit about school and nursing, some of the things it would take to get into that school.
Well, I think for high school students especially, it's a great career. It's good for young men, young women. The important thing in high school is to take some science courses. I tell students, always do your best work. Get really good at that. And the thing to know about nursing is that you can work in so many different fields. You can work with all different age groups. You can work in the emergency room. You can work with children. The opportunities and the differences in the kind of work are endless. I tell people we have a basketball player, a young man who's a basketball player who's a freshman in our College of Nursing. I've had football players. So it's open and it's opportunity for everyone.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Excellent. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. 4th down here for Riverside. They will go for it here. Tenejero will work from pistol. He'll have Jameer Hayes in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. Looking over the middle, nothing there. Now on the scramble. Back of the end zone. Penalty marker flies as that pass goes incomplete through the back of the end zone. We have to check out the call here.
I don't know if they're going to call ineligible man downfield.
Ineligible man downfield, player 57.
A couple linemen got upfield a little too much on that as he scrambled.
So King will take over on downs at the 11-yard line. So the touchdown wiped off by the penalty. Coach, you talked about it in the keys to the game. Costly penalties for Riverside in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Coach Wagner mentioned, how that's been a little thorn in their side as they've gone through the season.
So the King offense back out there, second possession tonight, and movement up front. Cal Stanky will then be sorting this one out.
False start, player 81, offense.
So false start penalty here against King moves them back, setting up a 1st and 15 from inside their own 10-yard line.
A little ragged start here for both teams. You know, whether the nerves, big game, are starting to have an effect, hard to tell.
Dupree will send Ross now out of the backfield. They'll empty it out, send everybody out. 3 here to the near side. Actually 4 receivers here to the near side now. They'll swing it on a backward pass, and it's going to be tipped around in the end zone. Recovered by Riverside. Touchdown, Tigers. Looked like Talon Nash got in there. It was a lateral. They had lined up 3 receivers here to the near side. Coach Brandon, man in motion.
Motion to a quads. You know, and Mike Dupree has only been playing quarterback since Tuesday, you know, so he's trying to do something he's not accustomed to.
Getting in there on that recovery was Talon Nash, the senior. Had a fumble return for a touchdown against Bayview earlier this season. Recovers one in the end zone to put the Tigers on top 6-0.
We've got Jamar Hayes in to try to kick this extra point.
They didn't have enough players on the field, so a second timeout taken by Riverside here in this first quarter.
You know, special teams coaches, you know, sometimes get, I think, overlooked in terms of how big of an impact their squads have on the game. And so I'm pretty sure Coach Wagner wants to find out how come we had somebody missing.
You can see the pennants on top of the goalpost. Still a breezy night here at Pulaski Stadium, so not a for sure thing here. Marvin Thomas will hold. Robert Nora is the long snapper. And Jameer Hayes will try and add the extra point. Straight on kick, splits the upright. 7-0 Riverside on the fumble recovery by Talon Nash. And they draw first blood here tonight.
Something we don't see much anymore, a straight on kicker. Next we're going to see a square-toed shoe kind of go back in time. But, you know, once again, being able to kick extra points and field goals, critical to your success.
So the turnover cashed in for points. Now King needs to regroup here. And I think for Coach Tom Wozniak, perhaps a moment here to settle your quarterback down just a little bit and say, okay, we got that out of our system. Let's go right back out there.
Right, and you know, Mike Dupree is an excellent running back, and all of a sudden to be expected to step in at quarterback to run the option offense, to do all the reads, that's a lot to put on the shoulders of the young man.
Kick by Hayes will come to the near side. Dupree actually going to try and field it at the 11-yard line. Breaks one tackle up the near sideline across the 20 and out of bounds near the 23-yard line. 12-yard return. Ernest Blackshear getting down on special teams for Riverside, making the stop. One more look. I think if he let that one go, Coach, probably rolls out of bounds.
That was going to be close. That's one of those betwixt and between. You're not quite sure what to do.
So King will start this drive at their own 22-yard line. Down 7-0 on the fumble into the end zone that Riverside recovered. They'll put 3 receivers to the right here, 2 to the near side, empty backfield for Dupree. Running up the middle. Dupree with some room, coughed up the ball, and it's recovered by Riverside at the 30-yard line. He had some running room, and I believe it was Armand Williams able to make the recovery for the Tigers. Back-to-back fumbles by Dupree. And Riverside back in business at the King 30-yard line.
I'm sure in King's mind they don't want a repeat of last year's performance where things kind of got out of hand against Riverside.
Looked like it was 43 Ernest Blackshear who knocked that ball right out, just popped it right out. Recovered by Williams. From the 30-yard line. Try the near side, not much there. And wrapped up in the backfield was Emil Jackson. Trent Martin getting there first for King.
Yeah, Martin's only a sophomore, 5'10", 250-pound sophomore, moves real well at the defensive end position.
Loss of 5 on that tackle, so it'll set up a 2nd and 15 for the Tigers. Now they're going to bring in Amon Williams here on offense. He'll be lined up as a receiver here on the near side. See what we got here. Jameer Hayes in the backfield. They'll send Williams in motion. He'll take it. On the end around, coming around the far side, trying to get the edge, and nice set edge out there by the King defense. Javon Bird, who we've featured in our pregame, able to step up and make the play.
Yeah, he's a junior already, getting some D1 interest. Had 2 interceptions last week in the game.
Well, 3rd and long here. It looks like 3rd and 11 upcoming here for the Tigers. 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Trying to take advantage of their second takeaway tonight. Again, Williams in motion. They'll fake it this time. Hand it off to Hayes. Hayes nowhere to go. Will be chased here to the near boundary and rolled out of bounds. Kai Ross able to get over there, set that edge. The corner here on the near side was not going to be fooled by that fake toss. He steps in and makes the tackle.
You can see how well Kai Ross flows. They're stringing that play out. Good pursuit from the inside.
Good sudden change defense here by the Generals. Riverside will go into a huddle here on 4th down. This is another one of those twixt in between here kind of things with a little too deep into the zone to try and punt this one away. So you're going to try and go for something here. Tanahiro at quarterback. And we got delay a game here against Riverside.
Yeah, in the year, Tanero is 34 for 79 passing. As we said, they'd much rather run the ball than pass. But he has thrown for 10 touchdown passes so far this year.
Well, they take the delay. It gives them a little yardage to work here. And now King will burn a timeout. Now, while these teams talk about it, we'll visit with the fine folks from Bubon Orthodontics.
Guys, I'm here with Cassandra Franklin. She's with Bubon Orthodontics. October's a big month for you guys.
It is. October is actually National Orthodontic Health Month.
Who knew that? I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. Hey, a couple of weeks ago, you and I talked about the difference between getting braces now and getting braces back in the day, where it just didn't look so good. Kids are much more willing to do that now, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Kids love to have the colors, be able to choose from the colors, and just have fun with it. We are able to make them super customizable, so it really just brings out their personality, allows them to have fun with it, and it's just awesome.
Man, that's awesome. Stay warm tonight.
Oh, I'll try.
Boys, back to you.
Thank you, Mike, and thanks to Bubon Orthodontics. Williams will punt this one out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. They'll mark it out upfield just a little bit here at the 25. That's where King will take over. Time for our first commercial break here of this first quarter. 7-0 Riverside off of a turnover tonight. A fumble recovery in the end zone. 7-0 Riverside. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights salute to Milwaukee first responders. Riverside with excellent field position here. They'll start this at the 30-yard line. And we got another delay of game here, a false start. King having all kinds of trouble here early on.
Well, you know, the situation there, Kai Ross started in motion. Kai Ross was an all-conference performer as running back last year, but he's been moved to defense. And now with having to shuffle and put Mike Dupree at the quarterback, things are just not quite hitting on all cylinders.
So from the 25-yard line, again, they lost Solomon Dotson on the first play from scrimmage tonight as well, so they're short running back. And Dupree will keep it, trying going up the middle. We'll get those 5 yards back out across the 30-yard line. Eric Young there to make the stop.
Yeah, I can see that Mike Dupree, very quick, able to change directions real quickly, but he's had a lot of thrust on his shoulders tonight. And I'm sure as the game wears on and he gets more accustomed to what he's got to do, we'll see things smooth out a little for King.
Anthony Dowry is the offensive coordinator for King. Coach Wozniak is the head coach and defensive coordinator for the general team.
But I'm sure Coach Dowry has been trying to, get Mike to be able to settle down, just do what you can do.
We'll try it again up the middle, and he'll be stopped just across the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple. Montrell Rash, first team all-conference at defensive end, makes the stop for Riverside.
Yeah, Montrell and Markel Rash, the two twins, there's actually triplets. A third brother is also on the team, manning that front line.
Now 3rd and short here for King. Jerry Cross coming in at split end, bringing the play into the huddle for the Generals. Talley and Ross split here to the near side. Toombs and Cross far side, actually 3 receivers to that far side. Dupree will run it up the middle and will not get the first down. The Riverside front ready for it, Devin Perez. Second time we've called his name tonight. He's made a couple of big stops, coming up big here on 3rd down.
6'2", 299, can clog up that middle.
Sets up 4th and 1. Looks like King's going to go for it here, trailing 7-0 late in this first quarter. And Cross will bring the play in from the sideline. Again, empty backfield. 5 receivers going out. Dupree will send the man in motion, Talley. And Dupree going to run the option, pitch back to Talley, and met in the backfield and drilled to the turf. Getting in there was both Kari Allen and Talon Nash, both in there on that stop. So they'll take over on downs as we take another look here on this 4th down pitch. They were not fooled. Allen and Nash both there. And so Riverside will take over at the King 30-yard line here with 2:40 to go in this first quarter. They'll try and work it up the middle with Hayes. Good yardage there down to the 25-yard line for Hayes. Frank Owens, inside linebacker, along with Torian Galloway there to make the stop.
Yeah, that front 5 of Patrick Wright at left tackle, Jalen Palomore at left guard, Larry Chin at center, Ezekiel Simmons, an all-conference performer at right guard, and Yamini Pasha at right tackle.
2nd and 5 from the 25. Single back in the backfield is Hayes. And he'll get the call, met in the backfield and dropped immediately. Galloway in there, fumble on the play too. Let's see what we have. Been no signal from the officials yet. One more look here, and it will be King ball. Galloway with the strip and the recovery. First turnover tonight by Riverside. Already our third fumble tonight, Coach.
When the ball was recovered, the player was down, ball became dead. King takes over on offense.
Two teams that have, played the tough non-conference opponent, have been going through the conference season kind of not forced, struggling a bit tonight.
Well, while we're enjoying a great night of football here at Pulaski, we bring you a dose of reality. According to the Wisconsin Medical Society, 80% of parents dying from heroin overdose started with prescription drugs. A dose of reality brought to you by Mixac. He'll fake the handoff. Dupree coming around the near side. Michael Dupree to the 40 and out of bounds near midfield. They'll mark him out at the 49-yard line. 24-yard run by Mike Dupree. There you see the running back speed.
You can see the running ability, and he read that well. He rode that ball into the line, pulled it out, headed around end.
Williams was there to get to him at midfield. They'll mark him at the general 49-yard line. First big play of the game for King tonight.
Yeah, see if that gets things going a little bit for the Generals.
From their own 49. The give is to Ross, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, Devin Perez there to make the stop. Third tackle tonight for Mr. Perez.
And he's got that perfect body for a defensive tackle at 6'2", 299.
Get another look here. Trying to read and ride that running back, and Perez was right there. Loss of 1 to the 48-yard line. Second down, 11 for the Generals. Toombs, Webb, and Cross will go to the far side. Talley will now go in motion. They'll go quads right here. And Dupree will run it. He is met at the line of scrimmage and driven to the turf. Eric Young, inside linebacker, read that play well, stopped him for no gain.
Yeah, more often than not, when you see King get into an empty backfield, Dupree is going to keep the ball. You know, I'm sure Riverside is well aware that that's the tendency so far tonight.
You get a look at Eric Young tonight, 6'2", senior. Clock under 10 seconds here to go. King might just sit on this one here and run out the clock, which they will do here. Our first quarter coming to an end. Pulaski Stadium in Milwaukee. Richardson Division of the City Conference. Riverside on top, 7-0. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. (7-0) Riverside, a fumble recovery in the end zone, the only score thus far. King facing a 3rd and 1 to start this second quarter. Dupree going to heave it out, looking for the receiver, and it's incomplete. Jerry Cross, the intended target. Terrell Hazelwood in coverage for the Tigers.
Hazelwood had that inside position again. You know, you've got to try to deny the much taller Cross. Good positioning.
4th and 1 for the Generals. Ball at the 48-yard line. 4th and 11, I should say. My bad. Well, it doesn't help when the chain guy has his chain turned sideways over there.
We can't see
that. Can't see that. Trent Martin on the punt. A very low punt the last time in there. Gets this one away. And we're taken by Williams. Buried, broke out of the tackle across the 30, near sideline to the 40. Here comes Williams, wrestled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. We told you he's a very dangerous returner. Aiden Mitchell saved 6 points.
Block in the back. Player 89 of black will enforce 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Riverside's ball, 1st and 10.
Block in the back, taking that return away from Amon Williams.
Yeah, they don't quite catch it. It occurred further back in the field there.
Well, while they move that football back, let's head back to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, defensively, Riverside all on the same page. Offensively, struggling a little bit. Offensive line question the other guys on the offensive line. Offensive coordinators question a little bit. They need to offensively kind of get things going here because right now they're struggling a little bit. But defensively, man, they're getting after it.
They have the only score, the defense able to recover that fumble. Flags on the play.
One of the things Riverside's been doing, you know, it's hard to see.
Dead ball, full start, player 74, offense.
They've been shifting one of their offensive linemen over. They're getting an unbalanced look. The left side that time, trying to outnumber them and see if they can somehow get this offense rolling.
It's the right guard, Ezekiel Simmons, was the guilty party there. 1st and 15. And the give to the near side. Out of bounds near the 25-yard line. That was Emil Jackson on the carry. Glody Kasango in on that stop for the Generals.
He's a trackster, and you could see the speed he had as he came up to take that angle and cut it down. 6'2", 175-pound junior.
Got a couple out of it. Sets up a 2nd and 13 for the Tigers. Tinahero has a single back in the backfield. Doubles each side, wants to put it up. Far side, complete the pass, and what a textbook tackle. Malik Williams on the catch. Kai Ross, that's how you teach it.
Kai Ross really timed that up well.
A legal hit, and I'll tell you what, that's how you want to see guys get wrapped up. Didn't go after him with the helmet, didn't lead with the helmet. Probably knocked the wind out of Williams as we'll take another look here. It's just textbook wrap up by Ross.
Yeah, Malik was not anticipating he was going to be hit quite so soon.
Well, all season long, we take an opportunity to show you some of the great smiles from our crowd tonight, including our homecoming queen. This season's Smile Cam brought to you by Bubon Orthodontics. Give the world your smile. Check them out at bubonortho.com. Good to see Williams back up under his own power, getting to the near sideline. So a gain of 6 on the play sets up a 3rd and 7 for Riverside. Amon Williams in there now at one of the backs for Riverside. Yeah, wings on each side behind the line. They'll send Williams in motion. He'll get it on the end around. Coming back around the far side. We'll get the first down and out of bounds at the general sideline. Out across the 40-yard line. Jalen Reed taken for a ride on that far sideline by Mr. Williams.
You can see a turn out of field, that little burst. Good power as he drove upfield.
Mark it at the 42. Well, while we have a moment, we're going to give out a special thanks to Dan tonight for providing our wonderful food each week. We had, pot roast and potatoes and spinach salad. little bit of sauerkraut tonight. And again, Dan Dan, you can check them out at dandanmke.com for their complete menu and delivery options.
Yeah, I want to emphasize that I did eat salad tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But you were also eating a little bit of those potatoes, too.
Might have had one or two.
Another timeout taken by Riverside. That's their final timeout of the half.
Yeah, Emil Jackson, I don't know whether he has a cramp, had to come off the field. I think they're trying to get the right personnel grouping in there. You see Coach Wagner trying to figure just who he's going to put in. And so Trainer is checking on Emil on the sideline.
Well, Batwoman saves Sunday nights at 7 this fall in Milwaukee's CW18, and you can see her on the super screen at the Bistroplex Southridge this Sunday at the free premiere party. It's a free event. Batwoman will be on Sunday nights starting this weekend on CW18.
You can see once again, you know, penalties have really hurt Riverside in terms of creating some momentum on offense.
Well, they are out of timeouts here for the half. 10:41 to go here, second quarter. Tinajero working from pistol. Flag on the play, the run up the middle. Breaking tackles out across the midfield stripe. And a flag down. Bird on the stop. Cal Stanky, our referee tonight.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield on Riverside.
Formation call there on the 5 men in the backfield. You hit it on the head, coach. Takes all the momentum away. You get a big play, and you come out of it, and you've got yourself a penalty.
And I'm sure Coach Wagner is kind of scratching his head. They're into the 7th game of the season, wondering why that's the case.
That was Isaiah Cullen Ramos, I should say, Colon Ramos, in that backfield now, number 51 in your picture there, off the right shoulder of the quarterback, Tinajero. Run option, pitch going back. King read it well. Hayes off the pitch, taken down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 on the play. Kasongo, Glody Kasongo again, blowing up that play for the Generals.
Once again, you saw how quickly he read that, got up to his assigned man, so on the pitch he was right there. Came up, filled just like he was supposed to.
So we'll mark it back at the 32-yard line, officially a loss of 5. We'll set up a 2nd and 20 now for Riverside. Back to their own 32. No toss. Coming to the near side, Williams. Flag on the play. Gets it across the 40, wrapped up at the 48-yard line, but this will be coming back.
Yeah, that holding call.
Galloway in on the stop for the Generals. And as we said, penalty marker on the play.
Block in the back, player 53 offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul, repeat the down.
One more look here. I think we'll pick it up. Not quite. Didn't quite make it. Almost a face mask there as well.
They called it a block in the back, but at least one of the Riverside players had a pretty good hold.
King will accept the penalty here.
I'm pretty sure right now the total yardage for penalties exceeds the total yardage of offense for Riverside tonight, much to Coach Wagner's dismay.
You're tuned in to Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights, a very special presentation tonight, Milwaukee First Responder Night. With Mike McGivern and Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you. Glad you're along tonight. Toss out here to the near side, completed to Hayes, and Hayes driven backwards. Forward progress will mark him out near the 27-yard line. Zach Bailey, nose tackle, getting downfield, running laterally along the line of scrimmage to make the play.
Yeah, there's not a lot of calls on your play sheet now for third and about 23. Plus you've got one of your top running backs, Emil Jackson, on the sideline with some kind of lower leg injury.
The first down marker at the general 48-yard line. So this is a 3rd and 33. Looks like they'll put it up. Tenahero back over the middle, and it'll be picked off. Intercepted. Javon Bird down the far sideline and out of bounds near the 33-yard line. 17-yard return by Bird. And that is his 5th pick of the season. Just playing center field, Coach. Dropping back in zone coverage.
Right, and as we said, one of the things that Riverside hoped to do is get their passing game going tonight, but when you know you have to pass, it gives the defense a little bit of an advantage.
A nice return by Bird will set King up at the Riverside 32-yard line. So turnovers even now at 2 apiece. Watch the Generals go to work here on offense. Again, they'll go empty. Set up quads here to the near side. They'll fake the jet sweep. Dupree dropped the football, picks it back up, and he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Cornelius Bowie and Eric Young both out there on that right defensive side for the Tigers.
You know, I think you'll see Dupree was trying. He wanted to just ride that fake a little bit and keep the ball, but it squirted loose.
And later tonight, we're going to highlight an unusual moment from our ball game, our uncommon moment, brought to you by Concordia University. Live uncommon. Just under 8 minutes to go here in this first half. 7-0 Riverside. King, though, off the interception at the 32-yard line. Dupree up the middle inside the 20. He'll take it down to the 17-yard line. Nope, still on his feet. Will run it down to the 10. Just kept those feet moving, taking the pile with him. It was finally Hazelwood who made the stop for Riverside.
Now, once again, we see that King empties the backfield, but Dupree's going to keep that ball and try to find that open shot.
Reaches the Stritch red zone all season long when the team gets inside their opponent's 20. They enter the Stritch red zone. Focused on your success, visit stritch.edu. And we're very pleased to be joined by a very special guest up here in the booth tonight. And it is the Milwaukee Police Chief, Alfonso Morales. Chief Morales, pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us here.
Glad
Thank
to
you.
see you. Glad to see you.
Glad to see you.
Call on your expertise with football. Go back into your past.
Carroll College days, your days at Bradley Tech, huh?
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Let's bring back some good memories. We got a timeout here taken by King, so it gives us a chance to visit.
Great.
You got to love this.
Oh, this is awesome. This field, 1986. We played on this field, Milwaukee Tech versus Oconomowoc in the playoffs to go to the state championship. And that team, they had a star player, Oconomowoc, John Derby, who ended up playing for Iowa. I think he played for the pros. We had Keo Coleman, who also played for the Packers, the Jets. On this field, Milwaukee won 17-0, shut down Oconomowoc to go to the state championship.
You're not going to forget that.
I'm not going to forget that.
Who was your coach?
This place was Tom Konowalski.
Oh,
and Frank Budish.
Frank Budish, the Buddha.
Yes, the Buddha. So a lot of memories that come back.
Well, let's head down to the sideline. Mike's got something for us.
Yes.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Amy Hand. She is the Media Relations Director, Salvation Army. And talking about getting people to come out and ring bells, when can people start signing up?
It's hard to believe that the Christmas season is upon us already. Our bell ringing shifts are now open. Volunteers can go to registertoring.com. And even though the bell ringing season doesn't start till November 15th, shifts are open now. So all people have to do is go to that website and type in their zip code, and they will find the location closest to them.
Look, I'm a really big fan of what you guys do. Good luck with that, and I'm hoping that we get a lot of people signing up.
I hope so too. It's great because 87 cents of every dollar goes back to the Milwaukee County community, and we're excited to see everyone out there this year.
Amy, thanks a lot for your time. Boys, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. The Salvation Army would like to recognize Amy Hand, Media Relations Director, and thank you for doing the most good in our communities. We'd like to remind everyone that you can do the most good by donating. Take advantage of 2 opportunities.
Holding offense, player 68.
You can drop off the non-perishable food items in the Salvation Army barrel in any of our Thursday Night Lights game locations, or text TNL to 41444, and it will take you to the online donation page. Penalty here on King, so this will move them back from a 1st and goal inside the 10 to just outside the 24-yard line. This will be a 1st and goal from the 24-yard line for the Generals.
Beautiful day out to play football.
It is a nice night. Does this not want to bring you back out here again?
Oh, yes. And it's fun to see the families, the students out here. This is what it's all about. You know, bringing the schools and the sports, it really brings everyone together, makes a team out of it. And a lot of times, you know, my memories here and what this really does to the students is, you know, the friendships that they're going to build for a lifetime.
And that carries over into your line of work. If you want to get involved in the line of police work or firefighting or being a first responder, it's all about being a team player.
Exactly. Sports such as football, which we're talking about today, it brings upon about selflessness. You know, as kids, we're selfish. And as you grow older and you join sports like this, it shows that you need to do your part to help the team ultimately win.
Absolutely. Chief, you played some college ball. I'm familiar with that. Carroll College, Carthage College, so you've had an opportunity to play at Carroll University. Did you play for Merle Mason Holder?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He passed away last year.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Okay.
Inside the 20, nice carry that time by Jerry Cross, brought down by Eric Young.
Now, you were a halfback, weren't
Yes.
you, Coach Morales?
Yes, I was.
Chief Morales, Coach Morales.
And you've got a couple of records yet at Carroll.
You know, one of the things we brought up is you play for the team, and to be honest with you, unless I'm remember about the records, you know, you were happy if the team won, and that's kind of the things we talked about when I was able to meet the young gentlemen that are out there playing for King today.
Dupree tried the right side, cut it back up the middle. Is going to be stopped inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. Devin Perez there on the stop. We're talking with Milwaukee Police Chief Alfonso Morales. And you played for Merle Mason Holder. What was that like? What type of coach was he like?
He was a great coach. You know, when you go from high school where there's more of the coaching staff is more of a parent to a child type, or a parent to a son. In college, it was more like a mentor, a coach who treated you like an adult. You wanted to win, you wanted to be a part of the team, come on and join us. We're going to help you. We're going to show you the road. It was very fair.
Imagine as a halfback, if you had to be like Mike Dupree, he's been forced to play quarterback tonight, so he's trying to step in there.
Wow.
Going for Cross. It is picked off down the far sideline. And returning it out near the 30-yard line with a penalty flag on the play. That was Talon Nash. He recovered a fumble in the end zone earlier. Or is that Williams? That is Williams who made that interception. Amon Williams. We're going to check out a penalty here. Pretty nice play there. Good idea going for the big guy Cross, Chief.
Absolutely. You know, if you'd have tossed the ball a little sooner, you get a greater chance at getting that ball out there.
And again, being running back pressed into quarterback, that's going to happen, just being a little late with the throw.
Exactly. All that was timing, but it was a good look, a good opportunity for that play.
Terrell Hazelwood is coming off to the near sideline for Riverside. Looks like he's a little bit of a leg issue. Cal Stanky has been officiating for almost 30 years. That is his crew out there tonight. We'll get his call here.
There were 2 fouls on the play,
It's interesting to
both
see what
against
football
Riverside.
has done nowadays.
Before the ball was thrown,
you see a lot more
illegal hands to the
passing
face by Riverside
plays.
defense.
And that puts a lot of pressure onto the young
After
students
the
that are out there
interception,
playing this game.
there was personal foul, blindside block against Riverside. That penalty will be declined. The illegal hands to the face will be enforced from the 17, half the distance to the goal.
So we got a couple of penalties here that will both be enforced here. A block in the back, and then we've got the personal foul call here. So this will move it half the distance to the goal. Let's take another look here on that interception thrown into 2 defenders. You saw the flag from the umpire as Williams returned that interception to the 30-yard line. One more look here. Not sure if we picked that up or not. It'll be half the distance. They'll move it inside to the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 3 for King. Looking for their first score tonight. It'll be Dupree. He'll take it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah, nice play. Just
Nice
spread
play,
him out.
straight in the middle. Yes.
Right.
And as you stated, the running back, you know where to go, what hold out.
Well, Coach Wozniak saying he wasn't going to try and change anything offensively other than maybe give Dupree some more opportunities to run the football.
Yes.
We got police, we got the
First
fire,
responders, both ends.
Yes, absolutely. And the Kings sideline, finally something to celebrate here tonight.
Yes.
As near as we can determine, I think King has only tried to kick 4 extra points all year, so they're going for 2 on this one.
Probably the same play here. Spread him out, look for Dupree up the middle. And we got a penalty marker on the play.
Looks like somebody jumped offside.
And besides being offside, I think they might nail him for unnecessary roughness.
That's what they're going to discuss here. Again, it was the old Dallas Cowboy look where you pull up and then get reset. That was Christian Robinson who took the blow there. It was Devin Perez who fired out of his stance early. There we are, along with Chief Morales and Terry Kelly. John Weiser with you up in the booth, and it's been a fun evening. City Conference football, as you know, very, very good football. I've grown up with this, and it's good to see this getting back to where it needs to be here.
Absolutely, and it involves again family. I like to see family and student body out here at the cheering their team on. There's a lot that comes to it, and again, out there on the field, those young men should be playing, like arch rivals, arch enemies. But after the game, it's time to go out and eat. It's time to break, for the bragging rights. It's that type of those things will bring the memories that'll last a lifetime.
Dupree in for 2, and
Nice.
King has their first lead tonight, 8-7. We'll continue to visit with Chief Morales here on our special salute to Milwaukee first responders tonight. It is King 8, Riverside 7 on our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. Well, we're not going to take that break, so we're going to tell you that coming up we'll highlight high school students who achieve in tonight's Carthage Aspire Student Highlight. That's brought to you by our friends at Carthage College down in Kenosha, the Aspire program. Visit them online at carthage.edu. So we'll stay right here. We'll go with the kickoff. Finley to Williams. 25 across the 30, out to the 40, near sideline, brought down from behind. Javon Bird able to get there from behind to take Williams down. I don't see any flags. It looks like this will stand in a good field position. One more look at Williams' return.
Comes forward, he's going to hesitate just a bit to kind of see things set up. Then he hits it.
Got a nice block there to set him free.
Looks like he hurt his ankle there.
Yeah, he came off a bit.
He limped off.
Yeah, he's right at the table down here below. Going to have somebody look at that ankle. Again, Williams preferred walk-on status to Wisconsin next year. He'll be playing for the Badgers.
Nice.
They'll hand it off, trying the right side. Pulled back inside. Emil Jackson on the carry, brought down by Frank Owens.
Good to see Emil back in there. He had been battling a lower leg problem, whether he had a cramp, not sure.
You see him after that return limping off to the sideline. Meanwhile, we had a face mask penalty here against the Generals. That'll move the football inside the King 38-yard line. That play happened behind the line of scrimmage, so they will move it up to the 38. Sets up a 1st and 4 situation here. And we'll hand it off. Down the near side.
Oh, there he goes.
There he goes.
Yes.
Jackson lost the football, and it went out of bounds. I think it deflected out of bounds, Chief, at the 15-yard line.
Wow.
Yeah, fortunately for Riverside, that ball landed out of bounds and bounced back into the field of play.
Well, let's take a look
Watch
at
another
this.
replay here.
Yes. It's a great move.
I'm pretty sure, Chief, you'd be telling him to tuck that ball under his armpit besides having the point covered.
Let's go. Let's go back. We're in the stretch red zone, by the way. Let's go back to your days in high school. What did the coaches tell you how to wrap that up? You didn't have gloves back in those days, and no, you never wore a golf glove in those days for that.
We didn't wear gloves at that time, no. I'll give you a quick story about wearing clubs and the proper shoes. We'll wait a little bit after this play,
okay,
but
we'll share that story. They'll mark him out at the 15 where that fumble occurred. 1st and 10 from the stretch red zone at the 15-yard line, Riverside. And again, the give is to Jackson, and Jackson takes it inside the 10-yard line.
In 1986, when we played in the state finals, remember all the fields were grass, and Camp Randall was turf, the old turf. None of us could afford turf shoes, and Frank Budish went out to was it Jim Guerin and Frank. Why am I forgetting his name? His attorney, who behind the scenes went and bought all the shoes for the entire football team. Frank Gimble. Frank Gimble. They went and bought shoes for the entire football team. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had shoes to play for the state championship.
And that was the old Astro turf, not the field turf that we have here today.
That didn't feel good when you. That didn't feel good when you landed on it. I'll tell you that.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Again, Jackson cuts it back inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Brought down on the play by Aiden Mitchell, outside linebacker.
Coach Wagner's getting to see his offensive line do what he said they're capable of doing, and
exactly
going straight at him.
Right.
It'll be a 1st down, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, just inside the 4. Malik Williams will be the single receiver out to the right. Pistol eye. They'll give it to Williams again. It's been his drive, and he is in for the touchdown. Emil Jackson, that's Jackson's drive all the way.
Right, and once again, that front 5, that Patrick Wright, Jalen Palomar, Larry Chin, Ezekiel Simmons, Yamini Pasha, doing an excellent job getting off the ball.
Right.
Now we'll see if Riverside elects to go for 2 here as well.
It looks like they're going to line up for it.
Tinajero will roll to his right, wants to throw, under pressure immediately, will throw it into the back of the end zone. It would have been out of bounds. Good pressure up front, provided by Javon Bird. He was in coverage out there. And so we will take our break. We'll take a commercial break here. 3:26 to go. 13-8 Riverside. Emil Jackson coming into your picture. The Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights on My 24. And Riverside retakes the lead. They missed the 2-point conversion. 13-8 here at beautiful refurbished Pulaski Stadium. Boy, absolutely. Chief, we were just talking about it. This is great having the field turf. And
you know, with a turf like this, a field like this, less injuries for the players.
And that's 4 now here in the city that have the stadiums now with the turf. Vincent getting theirs as well. And this little pooch punt that Kai Ross will cover up at the 29. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll highlight this week's Scholar Athlete nominees. We'll take the opportunity to meet a few of the sponsors that help make Thursday Night Lights happen, and we'll take a look at the Empire Beauty School highlights from our first half. All of that coming up on our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights halftime report.
It'll be interesting to see if King tries to keep going with that same offense, spread it out their formation, and letting Dupre find the hole.
Right. Yes.
Mike Dupree pressed into quarterback. He will send Talley in motion far side. The fake to Talley, Dupree with it. And Riverside not fooled. Ball came out again, and I believe did Riverside recover. Said the ball came out. They're going to rule Dupree. Oh, they're going to give it to Riverside. Wow. Third fumble recovered tonight by Riverside. Late signal. It might have been Blackshear who stripped the ball. No, wait a minute. They're going to give it back to King. The officials discussed. They felt Dupree was down.
Okay.
Player's knee was down. Player's knee was down. The ball belongs to King. Player's knee was down. No fumble. No.
So they rule the runner down by contact. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for King. Nearly the 3rd turnover by the King offense here in this first half.
All right, give the officiating crew credit. They came together to discuss what had happened, determined that the ball was down, no fumble.
Right.
Once again, they'll spread with 5 receivers. Empty backfield for Dupree on 2nd down. They'll run the option halfback option. They'll throw it up for grabs. Jerry Cross will get there at the 45. Cross runs over a defender. He'll take it to the house for the touchdown. Jerry Cross with the touchdown reception, his 8th of the season. What a play.
Well, you can see 6'5", 220 pounds. He literally runs over the defensive back.
Right. He didn't only use size, he used athletic ability there. Look at that.
Ran over Demetrius Johnson, the corner here on the near side, and Jerry Cross, 6'5", 220, a sophomore.
Wow. With
his 8th touchdown reception of the year.
You can see why he's getting some D1 interest very early.
Great.
King by 1. They will go for 2. Again, 3 by 2, 5 receivers. Empty backfield, Dupree going for the 2-point conversion here. Offensive coordinator Anthony Dowry will signal that play in. They will send Webb in motion. They will look right, toss back of the end zone, going up, trying to get it was Cross. Certainly tried to take advantage of the height, just could not come down with it. Broken up by Allen and Hazelwood for Riverside.
Yes.
both teams moving forward, I think are going to say to themselves, we might have to develop a little more of a kicking game. That bit going for two. There are some coaches believe that'll work well, but
you need that sure point because you're losing two.
Chief, did you go for two quite a bit when they were at Tech? Was that always the case, or was that the kicking?
No, we actually went for two. We ran a play where you'd have it was a trick play for the kick. You had the center with the ball by himself, the place kicker, and the quarterback, and the entire line would shift to the side.
The old swinging gates.
The swinging gates. And what you do is see where everybody will line up. And if there was only 2-3 people that would line up on the line, you make
This is Amon Williams, brought down on the play by Kasongo on special teams for King. No, go ahead.
Yes, no, you call it out, and they'd hike it to you. You just ran behind the entire line and score your 2 points. Very rarely, I think one time we didn't go for two. And we had a great kicker. We used that kicker more in the playoffs because that's where now everybody knows the trick.
Sure.
But throughout the season, we just going for two.
Well, let's see how Riverside responds here from their own 29-yard line. They are out of timeouts. Mix-up on the handoff, so Tenejero trying to come around the near side will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Be a loss of a couple on the play. It looks like we also have a penalty marker down.
It's been tough to have a play tonight without a penalty marker. It's
Well, they wave it off here. It'll be second down. So second down, a loss of a couple here. Again, the clock rolling. Riverside out of timeouts here. They burned two in that right away in the first quarter tonight. Chief, have you ever done a play-by-play? You want to get in on a play-by-play here?
I'm learning.
You're learning. Feel free to jump in.
Will do. You both are doing a fine job.
Thank you. Come back to the near side on the pass here. And across the 35, out to the 40-yard line with it. Wrestled down across the 40 with that catch for Riverside. That was Marvin Thomas. And on the stop was Darrell Burns for the Generals. Big gain out to the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Marvin's only had 3 catches on the year. He hasn't been one of their main receivers, but with no timeouts, Riverside's got to find a way to get that ball down the field.
Right.
First and 10. Tenejero over the middle, got him! Across the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Beautiful catch by Emil Jackson. Brought down by James Finley, second tackle of the night. And Riverside, clock will stop while they reset the chains. Getting in business, here's one more look.
Very nice catch. Caught it with his hands and
got behind Javon Bird that time, the defender for the Generals. First and 10, Riverside. 3 receivers to the right side here. Single back in the backfield. Again, Tenejero wants to put it up.
Oh, there's going to be a hole. Oh, he didn't call it.
On the scramble, Tenejero puts it up for grabs, and it's broken up in the end zone. Incomplete. Kai Ross, the defender, nearly had another pick. Looked like it was intended for Malik Williams in the back part of the end zone.
Yeah, that rush that got put on forced Izzy out of his drop. Ball got hung up then.
Yeah, they got away with a little holding on that one.
Holding.
Good catch by you, Chief. You saw that one all the way.
We can also hear
I have the flag in my pocket.
Can also hear the King coaches next to us. They're trying to officiate this thing as well.
So second down, 10. The clock stopped with 59 seconds to play. There was a penalty on that play, too. I didn't see it either.
Oh,
we all lost that one.
Maybe they did get the holding.
Yeah, they may have gotten that holding call. Second down. They'll send a man in motion. That is Williams.
Well, that's nice that Riverside self-reported on their holding call.
Nothing there for Emil Jackson. A lot of leakage up front there, a lot of white jerseys in there. That was Braden Stone who came in to make the play for the Generals. Clock continues to roll here, 43 seconds to play in the half. Again, Riverside out of timeouts. King has one remaining. They'll go trips right once again, single receiver near side. That is Collier. Tenejero on the roll. Being chased. Now gets it upfield, and he's wrapped up at the 25-yard line. Aiden Mitchell, that outside linebacker, coach, we talked about him in the pregame, set the edge.
He did set the edge and stormed through. He was a second-team all-conference performer last year. He's their leading tackler on the year.
Nice. He kept that containment.
Riverside's going to try one more play. Well, they're going to try and spike it, but the clock is at 0, but we also had a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage. So let's hold it right here.
But they also were spiking it on 4th down, which wasn't going to work real well.
No. So that'll be the end of the half here. So a good half of football, an exciting ball game, Chief. I'm glad you were able to make it up here tonight.
There is no flag for false start.
Yes.
They'll wave that penalty off. But no, it's been fun up here.
It's been fun.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. It brings back memories, but this is a cycle. Like you all, I'm sure you played, where about?
A little feedback there in your mic.
Feedback on the mic.
There we go.
There we go. Much better. Okay.
But this is a cycle. These young men here are going to be involved in a sport, and this is going to show them lifelong lessons, and those lifelong lessons are going to keep them together. They're going to know what team really means out in the real world when they go from high school to college or high school to some type of job after some technical college or things that do to lead them on to life.
And I'm sure you'd like to get many of these young people to consider a career with the Milwaukee Police Department.
Well, there was a time in the 90s when a third of the Milwaukee Police Department was from Tech High School, from the high school that I was from. And that's it's a cycle, it's a filter, and if you really want to reach young people from the city of Milwaukee, this is where you attract them from. This is where you recruit them from, because they know team. You bring them from this field, from these schools, to like a police aid program from the Milwaukee Police Department. They're going to assimilate very quickly, very well. They're going to learn the job, and they're going to enter a profession that's going to give them a pension early in their life. And that's a cycle you want to see with young men and women that are involved in sports like this.
Chief, thank you so much. Chief Alfonso Morales joining us here in our broadcast tonight. 14-13 King over Riverside. Back with our halftime programming after this. And welcome back to our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights halftime report. An exciting ball game tonight. Richardson Division at stake here. King on top of Riverside by a score of 14-13. Well, tonight we'd like to highlight some special student athletes as we're proud to present once again our Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees. And our nominee from Rufus King is Jared Knox. Jared participates in football and track and field. He carries a 3.5 GPA and was an all-conference offensive tackle selection last season. Jared is currently sidelined with a hamstring injury. Jared does help out in the community as a part of a neighborhood cleanup group. He is considered a hard worker in the classroom and outside the classroom as well, and is seen as a role model for other student athletes at Rufus King. And from Milwaukee Riverside, the nominee is Arlinda Yang. She plays soccer, carries a 4.36 GPA, and she is ranked #1 in her class. Arlinda was selected National Honor Society President along with being captain on the soccer team and an all-conference selection. She is very involved at school, including as an event photographer for the yearbook. She volunteers her time at school as a manager for boys soccer with the Urban Ecology Center and at an area food pantry. Congratulations to this week's Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights Scholar Athlete nominees. Well, earlier this week, Mike had a chance to visit with the folks at Heiser Automotive Group and Marianne.
Thanks, boys. I'm here at Heiser Automotive with Marianne Scafidi. Marianne, thank you again for your partnership with Thursday Night Lights. You know, the Marines are a partner with us as well, and I know from talking to you that giving back and supporting our troops is very important here at Heiser.
I think it's very important. They have a hard job and they take care of us and keep us free. I have family member that's in the military, friends that are in the military. It's just it's a huge part of our life.
Boy, I really support the fact that you guys give back to them. The service department here at Heiser is second to none. We hear that a lot, and your auto body shops are doing really well as well.
Yes, we actually have two of them. One's in West Allis and one's on 76th Street Body Shop. That one will be named, you'll probably hear it has Heiser's Collision Center more than 76th Street Body Shop moving forward.
Hey, can I ask your day-to-day here at Heiser? So you run all five. Are you in charge of all of them?
I am the CEO, but I have a great team that helps me run the dealerships. I cannot say that I'm doing it all by myself. I have a great team.
You know, it's such a competitive industry, and you guys continue to be at the top and do extremely well. And I love the fact that I've had a chance to meet two daughters that are involved in this. This truly is a family business.
It is. Third generation is here. I have two daughters in the business. My sister has a son in the business. He's the Cadillac manager up in West Bend. We're very proud of him and my girls. And I have grandkids that are coming through. In fact, my youngest grandson, his first sentence at 18 months was, "Do you want to buy a car?"
Do you want to buy a car? If you do, you go to Heiser Automotive. Marianne Scafidi. Marianne, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet. Boys, back to you.
Mike and Marianne, thank you so much. And thanks to Heiser Automotive Group, our title sponsor this year for Thursday Night Lights. We're at halftime here at Pulaski Stadium, 14-13. King, once again, we go to Mike live on the sideline.
Hey, guys, we got a big crew here tonight. As part of first responders, guys at Team Rehab are giving checks to both the fire department and the police department as part of Ignite the Spirit. Hey, I thank you so much for doing this, by the way. It's good to see you guys. Why are you giving back to this, and why is this so important to you?
You bet. Our police officers and firefighters work every day for our communities, and it's so easy for us to give back to these guys for as much as they do for us.
Yeah, I agree. 7 locations for you guys are growing like crazy, and the first thing you think about is giving back to the community. That's really impressive.
Yeah, it is. You know, we work with these guys each and every day in our clinics, and it's really nice to see what these guys can do for us. So we want to give back a little bit to them.
Hey, I want to thank everybody from Team Rehab for getting involved in this thing. Again, Ignite the Spirit. I love the fact that everybody, community really coming together tonight. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, John Weiser, Terry Kelly to talk about that first half. This is the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week.
Halftime here on the Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights here on Mine 24, 14-13 King on top of Riverside. Back to the sideline we go. Mike McGivern, our United States Marine Corps interview.
Hey guys, he is Sergeant Joe Comandosofis from the U.S. Marine Corps. Hey, thank you so much for being out here. Talk a little bit to me about when you get a chance to talk to kids at this age at high school games about being a U.S. Marine. What do you tell them?
It's like one of the best things I've ever done in my life, especially being from Milwaukee. I meet a lot of kids that graduate high school, don't have a plan after high school. So I just go to schools and basically tell them, like, you can do whatever, if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want to, basically. Yeah.
Hey, when they ask you how hard is it the first 3, 4, 6 months, what do you tell them?
It's one of the hardest. Boot camp is like one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. But after you get done with boot camp, it's totally downhill.
Hey, and the fact that you guys become brothers at that time, I would assume that these guys are going to be friends of yours for the rest of your life.
Oh, yes, indeed. Like, all the people I started with in the Marine Corps, we've always been close, and I consider my brothers for like the rest of my life.
Hey, I thank you so much for what you do for our country. Thank you for being out here on Thursday Night Lights and talking to these high school kids. I know it means a lot to them, the fact that they see you here. You're a Milwaukee guy telling your story. So, Sergeant, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet, sir. Back to you, boys.
Thank you both. 14-13, King on top of Riverside. Halftime here at Pulaski Stadium. Well, tonight's Carthage Aspire student highlight. And from Milwaukee Riverside, we highlight Sean Hayes. He volunteers in his community and through his church, Unity Gospel. Sean helps with elderly care and the food pantry. At school, he organized a clothing drive and an event called Box City to shed light on the homeless. Sean looks to be joining the Air Force Academy in the fall. Miss Amanda Vogel, student council advisor, says, quote, Sean Hayes is one of the most charismatic, positive, and determined young men I've had the honor of working alongside. He is selfless in his dedication to Riverside, working diligently to make our school the best it can be for everyone who attends. Congratulations, Sean. The Aspire program is a 4-year program where Carthage students develop a dynamic approach to goal setting and life skill building. Students will own their ability to be lifelong learners and impactful contributors in the world. Once again, Mike McGivern and our Carthage College person, Bill Weir.
Hey, John, thank you very much. He's the director of admissions. We're just talking about scholarships, Bill. Can we talk a little bit about some of the scholarships you guys offer at Carthage?
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of scholarships. This month kicks off our competitive scholarships applications. We're starting to accept those now. We have over 35 scholarships ranging from $20,000 to full tuition for any major. Then we have all of our competitive scholarships by majors, math and science, business, music, art, all of those, a lot of those. And those are on the website now as well.
Bill, you guys made big news a couple weeks ago. You lowered your tuition at Carthage, which, look, I don't hear about that very often in any other colleges. We talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we can. So we're very excited to be very transparent. Our top line was $45,000. Realistically, nobody's paying that, so we lowered it to be more realistic with what people are paying, $31,500. And on top of that, like we were just talking about scholarships, we're still adding scholarships to folks starting from that top line.
Hey, Bill, last question. We're so happy you guys are a part of this Thursday night. Well, it's really important, I think, for you guys to be out in front of these high school student athletes.
Yes, yeah, we are. We do as much as we can to get in front of them. We offer a lot of visits to our school as well. Our coaches are out there, and we attend all of the college fairs locally that we can and make the high school visits to make ourselves visible to them.
Hey, so when we go to break, you can give me some inside information on John Weiser?
I will. There's a lot you should know about that guy.
Yeah, I agree. Boys, back to you.
We'd be here all night. 14-13 King on top of Riverside. Back with more of our halftime after this. King by 1 here at the half from Pulaski Stadium. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights special salute tonight to Milwaukee first responders. And we head back to the sideline with Mike McGivern.
John, thank you very much. Edgar Mendez, he is with Wisconsin Tobacco Prevention. Edgar, we're talking about my grandsons, and they're at an age where I'm getting nervous because 9, 8 years old, there's so many different tobacco products now that makes me nervous with these young guys.
Yeah, you have every reason to be nervous, and all parents should be because it's a growing problem right now in Wisconsin. And what they can do for more information is they can visit Wisconsin, or Tobacco is Changing, which is, you can find that on tobaccoischanging.com. And what it is, it's the state's educational campaign to raise parent awareness on issues related to flavoring and candy tobacco products, which are tempting kids like your grandkids.
Yeah, so who's with us here? What group do we have?
We got Fact, and I'm going to let Tanaya talk a little bit about
Excellent. Tanaya, she is at Shorewood High School. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys are doing with this group to prevent people from starting to smoke and the tobacco products that are out there.
Hello. So first off, FACT is a youth-led tobacco prevention group based in Wisconsin, and we do basically peer-to-peer outreach and just work in the community to let people know what tobacco actually is.
Man, I really appreciate the work you guys do. Really quickly, can I get your name?
Kayla.
And your name?
Mia. Sarone.
Hey guys, this is good stuff that Edgar and these guys are doing. And I think what we need to do is understand and go to the website Edgar talked about. Girls, nice to meet you guys. Edgar, thanks a lot. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. 14-13, King on top of Riverside as the half moon showing us the highlights from this first half tonight, Coach. And it was really the defense that got things going. Our highlights brought to you by Empire Beauty School.
Right, a backward pass here. It's a live ball. King's able to recover that. Riverside is able to recover that for the touchdown.
It was Taylor Nash on the recovery. King got a couple of takeaways as well. The big interception by Javon Bird, that's his 5th pick this season. That led to the Dupree touchdown run.
Short run by Mr. Dupree.
Then we had the last drive here late, the Emil Jackson drive. He took all 4 plays.
Right, and once again, I think both coaches are, saying we can change things around. But this then results, defensive back falls down, Cross makes the reception, runs over the other defensive back, takes it in for a score.
Tough to take down Jerry Cross at 6'5", 220. That's our scoring tonight, part of our salute to Milwaukee first responders tonight. 14-13, Rufus King. Well, we've got a new commissioner of athletics at Milwaukee Public Schools, and Mike McGivern has her down on the sideline. Mike.
Hey, guys, I'm talking to Bobby, and I told her she's got big shoes to fill, and she said, I do. Bill Mobeck been there a long time. She's in from Georgia, and she's freezing. Bobby, thank you so much. She's the director of athletics and academics for MPS. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hear nothing but really good things about you, and I'm impressed that this is when I said, look, you're the director of athletics, you said, and academics, don't forget that, Mike.
That's right. We are part of the interscholastic athletics team of Milwaukee Recreation, but we also have academics, which is our forensics, debate, and chess kids.
Bob, when you come out to a Thursday night game in the city conference and they're not letting anybody else in because it's full, you got to be really proud of this.
We are proud of it. We have some up-and-coming football teams. This is our premier teams, 2 of our premier teams in King and Riverside. And this is Riverside's homecoming, so they're very excited. But we're excited to see all the kids here having a good time, the police departments, the Marines, the firefighters. There's a lot of people here supporting these kids tonight.
There's a lot of people, and I love the fact that we have taken this and you guys have taken this and made it such a great community event. And you look around, kids are having fun. You know what? Everybody's just kind of hanging out. They just had the homecoming court come by. People stood up and clapped. It's a good showcase for MPS.
Absolutely, and we want more positive stories and events about our kids because they're great kids. They just need that positive reinforcement and know the adults are behind them, supporting them, and we'll be there for them through the mistakes, through the successes. We're there for them, and we want to see them succeed.
Bobby, thank you so much. And again, welcome to Milwaukee. MPS made a good decision. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. And Bobby, thank you for allowing us to come into Pulaski tonight to bring this one to you. Our final halftime break, King by 1 on Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. The homecoming festivities here at halftime wrapping up here at Pulaski Stadium. King trying to play spoiler, leading Riverside 14-13 here through one half of play. Coach, your assessment here of that first half.
Well, Riverside's been plagued by penalties. It's really befuddled them in terms of what's happened. And conversely, King, down a couple of key players, has responded to the challenge. And Mike Dupree has done an excellent job kind of running that offense. And we've seen Jerry Cross make a big play as well.
Well, and I think it's something you mentioned at practice this week with Coach Wozniak, and that is, do you take the Brewer mentality here and just say, hey, next man up here, and we just keep going?
Right, and I think that's exactly how they've approached it.
14-13, King over Riverside. We had a pre-taped interview and with Mike McGivern prior to our ball game tonight. Well, we're going to go away from that interview. We're going to bring in the assistant chief from the Milwaukee Fire Department in here tonight, Aaron Lipsky. Aaron, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You bet. Glad to have you on board. So you get to sit in here and help us call some play-by-play here of this great high school ball game here tonight.
Well, I got to tell you what, this is an incredible night for me because I graduated from Riverside. Go Tigers.
Yes.
Right, 1992, you might remember that year. And I got to tell you what, I had a chance to meet these young men the other day at their practice, and what a fine group of young men. Absolutely a stunning, great impression of the city of Milwaukee and my alum. Just awesome. And I think we have a real chance here. Didn't go well in the first half, but it didn't go horrible in the first half.
Tried an onside kick recovered by King at the 38-yard line, so the Generals will start in relatively good field position here. That had to be special. What did you tell the guys at practice this week?
You know, we talked about the concept of team. We talked about the concept of determination. I think we talked about things that I'm hoping even a little bit of it rubbed off for the second half here. And they'll dig in. I have confidence in them.
We don't want Coach Wagner to blame you for anything that's not going right.
No. None of that stuff's my fault.
So King will start 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Michael Dupree. Touchdown tonight. At quarterback tonight, Preston to service. Will spread him out. 5 receivers, empty backfield. And Riverside ready. They buried him right up the middle, trying to go up the middle. Marquell Rash, part of the Rash twins, on that side of the football, able to make the play, first team all-conference from a year ago.
And at halftime, we saw his brother, number 77, Montrell Rash, playing in the band.
So it'll be a loss of 2, 2nd down 12 upcoming from the 36-yard line. Chief, you had an opportunity to play a little football when you were at Riverside?
I got to tell you what, I wasn't real big on the hand-eye coordination. So they didn't really want me near that field. But I got to tell you, I admire the athleticism and the drive. And we're out here doing our recruiting here tonight. These are the folks that would be just perfect as firefighters.
We'll talk about that in a moment as Dupree tries to take it up the middle again. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, the 38-yard line. That's, again, what this was all about and put together tonight, was to help both the police department, fire department, looking for cadets to get into their program, into the academy.
Absolutely. And we had this discussion the other day, too. We've got the athleticism, we've got the physicality, but what we have here, we have Milwaukee. This is the face of Milwaukee right here. This is the future of Milwaukee. And these folks, you could tell just talking to them, they actually care. They want to help. They want to do right. There's no bigger ingredients we need. So I basically recruited the entire Riverside football team to the Milwaukee Fire Department.
Dupree going to put it up, has a man wide open, makes the catch at the 40, and he will take it inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Dion Talley, the flanker, able to come up with a big catch down that far sideline. Terrell Hazelwood came in to make the stop for Riverside.
A busted coverage. There was no one covering Dion Talley.
Yeah, he was left open. He got so far behind the defense. But hey, credit the Tigers to chase him down at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line for the Generals.
Talley also happens to be a point guard on that Rufus King basketball team.
They'll bring Jerry Cross in now as a wide out to that far side. He, along with Talley, the 2 receivers to that far side, they'll put trips here to the near side. And again, when they pull out, they're not in their 3-point stance, Coach, so when they're in there, they can turn back, and that's drawing Riverside offside. That's the second time tonight.
It's like the old Dallas Cowboys shift, the same thing, and the old idea, watch the ball, it's not the man across from you.
So we've reached the stretch red zone all season long. When teams get inside their opponent's 20-yard line, they enter the stretch red zone. Focused on your success, visit stretch.edu. Well, Chief Lipsky, you said these are the people that you're looking for, 18 and older to get into the academy?
Yeah, once we get into the actual hiring process, we need them to be 18 to get in to be a cadet. And then beyond that, after that cadet program, they can go through our recruit class, and before too long can be a full-time Milwaukee firefighter.
First and goal from the 4 following the penalty. Dupree trying to go up the middle. Second effort with a penalty marker thrown into that pile. Stopped for no gain.
And once again, the career in the fire department, marvelous benefits, I would imagine, as you look at what can happen as you go through that career.
Clear 54.
I tell you, I was told
10
early
yards
on
from the
that
spot
you'll
of
never
foul.
get rich being
Repeat
a
the down.
firefighter, but you'll never go hungry. and it's true. It's true. We are paid. It is a comfortable existence. The work it can be extremely hazardous, but it is unbelievably rewarding.
Holding the call here against King, so that'll move them back to the 14-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 14. And they'll bunch the formation here to the near side. Trips here on the near side. Dupree going to toss it up, looking for a cross, and it's picked off here on the near sideline. Tyrell Hazelwood. Third takeaway tonight by the Tiger defense.
I saw Chief Lipsky get some height there as he jumped up. He was quite excited.
And Aaron Lipsky, the assistant chief here for Milwaukee Fire Department, he is a Riverside grad, and he has pumped Hazelwood's interception.
Look at that.
Third takeaway tonight by the Tiger defense. Recovered a fumble in the end zone, took a fumble earlier from Dupree, and now the pick. And Riverside with their first possession tonight. They'll take over at the 23-yard line. They'll try and run here to the near side. Emil Jackson stopped for no gain, brought down by Trent Martin, the defensive end for the Generals.
Well, that was critical for Riverside to be able to repulse King's attack there. They need now to get their offense to get into gear and not hamstring themselves with penalties.
Yeah, at least half a dozen in that first half against Riverside, taking and in most instances stalling their drives. 2nd and 10 from their own 22. King showing blitz. Now they drop back and change the play. Back judge counting it down. They just get it away. And again, try and run out of that formation. It was Isaiah Colon Ramos on the carry. Second carry tonight, brought down by Zach Bailey, the nose guard. So third and about 8 upcoming here for Riverside. This coming after an interception by Terrell Hazelwood, the senior corner for the Tigers. Now the official stopping play is one of the King players working on his shoe. It's like Bailey, who just made that tackle.
Little undersized as a nose man at 5'8", 175, but extremely quick.
Well, they move him around. He's now on the end over on that far side as Tannehill going to throw it. Has a man open and just couldn't get there. Marvin Thomas, the intended target, on a slant route, and I'll tell you what, he was open. Kai Ross gave him too much of a cushion there, and that would have been 6.
And they had another receiver breaking up the sideline wide open, Safante Collier. And it was a case just not making that connection.
So Williams on to punt for the Tigers, unable to take advantage of the interception. Dupree standing at the 40-yard line. We'll get this one away, a low line drive that will bounce short and roll dead at the 44-yard line. Let's head down to our sideline and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dr. Randy Ferguson. Just got a new job title, Director of Christian Services. He's been at Concordia 29 years. You've seen a lot of changes, not only in the school, but certainly the way the school looks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
huge building programs over the years, but more importantly, academic programs and services to the community, making more and more connections with the community.
So this year, your slogan is "Living Uncommon," and I've talked to a lot of people. I'm a big fan of the work that you guys do at Concordia, and that means something. That's just not a slogan. You guys are saying, look, we need to live uncommon and show that we're different, the people here at Concordia.
Right. From my perspective, to live uncommon means to live the life that God created you to live, right?
Amen.
So it's unique for each person, using their gifts, your talents, and going out in the world and making a difference.
Well, you guys certainly do that. Great academic programs, a lot of scholarship programs. Congratulations on the new job.
Great.
Yeah, it's
Thank
nice to meet you.
You too, you too.
Excellent. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. We're in the third quarter. Just over 7 minutes to play here in this third quarter. King up by 1. We're joined in the booth here in the third quarter by Milwaukee Fire Department Assistant Chief Aaron Lipsky. We're glad to have him aboard here tonight, a Riverside grad.
That's correct, 1992. I'm so glad to be here. We have enough of the second half to go here. I'm confident in the Tigers.
Well, the defense, there we go. Get us on camera here.
There we go.
Buddy back in the fire department. He's working tonight. He is here with us. So you talk about getting into the academy after the age of 18. Can students younger than 18 get involved with the fire department?
Absolutely. Between the Fire and Police Commission and the Milwaukee Fire Department recruiting team, there's a bunch of different ways we can get you involved. We have a Junior Fire Institute. Our recruiting staff will work with you to teach you about firefighting even before we get into the cadet program.
Fantastic, fantastic. And it's a great career. And again, using the athletic ability that we're seeing out here tonight. Dupree coming around the right edge, inside the 40, 35-30 down the sideline. Dupree out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Ernest Blackshear, the linebacker, able to chase him down from behind to get Dupree out of bounds. They will mark him out at the 6. It'll be first and goal, however. There is a penalty marker, I believe, on the play. No, maybe not. Nope, no foul there. Saw our official tonight, Cal Stanky, was talking things over there. Thought perhaps there was a flag, but there is not. First down's brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. King on the drive again. Again, they previous possession got inside the 5-yard line, but turned it over on an interception. They want to move Lamar Webb back into the backfield behind the quarterback, Dupree. Now they will change the play. They have trips to the left side. Single receiver now on the right side, moving Webb back into the backfield. And Dupree able to get away from the first wave and take it down near the 2-yard line. Looked like a busted play, Coach.
Missed the handoff initially and tried to follow through. And one of the things that noted is Amon Williams is kind of limping heavily. You know, that last kick that he tried to do, I think his ankle causing so many problems made the kick go such a short distance as well.
Well, Chief, I'm going to call on you here for defense. What are you looking here for Riverside to do defensively here in the red zone?
Well, I think what we're about to see is an interception run all the way back for a touchdown.
That's spoken like a true alum of Riverside High School. Now they put quads to the left here. Dupree will keep it, but penalty markers before the play. It is whistled dead. Head linesman throwing that flag. They may have gotten Riverside to jump here. The way King is reacting. Here's the call.
Neutral zone infraction. Player 3, Riverside. Half the distance to the goal.
So neutral zone infraction by Talon Nash, the safety, who was coming up to the line of scrimmage in a blitz type of look, jumped the neutral zone.
Out of the neutral zone, the other thing that's happening is Riverside has not been adjusting to the trips plus the man going in motion, and so they're getting outnumbered on that outside.
Player late getting into the huddle with the play. That is Dion Talley. Made that beautiful catch earlier in this quarter. And they'll put Talley out in single coverage here to the near side. And they'll keep it, but again, a penalty marker thrown at the snap. They may have had too many men in the backfield here. I don't know if on that far side, if the tight end lined up on the line of scrimmage. No, they said it was another foul here, it looks like, against Riverside.
Number 1 in the neutral zone.
Lining up in the neutral zone. That's twice back-to-back, half the distance. Nose of the football just short of the goal line.
You know, we mentioned in the pregame they've got to avoid the penalties, Riverside, and that has not been the case this evening.
Trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Dupree from the pistol will send Talley in motion. He will keep it, come back to the right, into the end zone, but a flag thrown by the umpire. It's 4 consecutive flags here. This one may be coming back for a hold.
Holding offense, player 54.
We'll take one more look here. We may have it. Yep, there it is.
Tried tackling him.
It was Wortham, Elijah Wortham, the center. Tried to tackle the nose man that time and moves the football back to the 11-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 11.
Right now on the sideline, Amon Williams is trying to loosen up so they don't have perhaps their best defensive back in the game at this time for Riverside.
Had that right ankle retaped here after he came off that punt. Countdown by the back judge. Talley in motion, and looks like a timeout taken here by King.
And once again, Riverside is not reacting to that trips left. They bring that slot man in motion. They're not rolling.
We'll take a break. We'll be back to visit some more with Assistant Chief Aaron Lipsky here on our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights from Pulaski Stadium. King facing a 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Penalties have marred this drive. Moved King inside the 1-yard line, but a holding call's put them back outside. Talley in motion. He'll get the pitch here to the right side. Trying to get the edge and pulled down from behind nicely that time by Ernest Blackshear once again. Blackshear just a sophomore, and he's come up with his 6th tackle of the night.
I think Blackshear at that inside linebacker position is trying to mirror the quarterback since they know that that's going to be the key to that whole offense.
Well, now facing a 3rd and goal. Ball spotted just short of the 7-yard line. We're in the 3rd quarter. Generals with the 1-point lead.
Well, Chief Lipsky, are you looking for that interception return again on this one?
Yeah, we put that on pause last go around here. This is where it's happening right here.
From the 7, it's 3rd and goal. They're going to throw the wheel route out to Cross. Cross trying to go up for it. Flag down. He did make the catch. It was deflected. Should be a touchdown. And it will be perhaps interference here by the defense. Let's see. Cross was trying to run his route. It was a wheel route, coach, off to the left side. Unless it's an offensive interference, we'll see.
Pass interference, defense, penalty decline, touchdown.
So Cross comes up with another touchdown grab, this time in the back of the end zone off a deflected ball. One more look. He ran into the near side corner. One more look here.
Bounced off Kayari Allen, the outside linebacker, into Jerry Cross's hands.
And he was well inside the end zone, so Cross coming up with a huge grab. King extends their lead. Once again, they will go for 2. They tried earlier and failed off their 2nd score. 2 men in motion, and this one's going to come back as Dupree still struggling forward. He'll be stopped at the 3-yard line, but this will be brought back.
Illegal shift, 2 men in motion. Penalty is declined. Point after is no good.
So the second try for the 2 ends up short by the penalty. Riverside will decline 20-13. So Riverside does come up with a stop on the 2-point conversion.
All right.
5 plays in just under 5 minutes. The 7-yard touchdown catch by Cross tonight for that score off the deflection off the defensive back.
Yeah, and another thing to point out, not only was Amon Williams not in there that time, number 43, Ernest Blackshire, seems to be coming up a little limpy as well. And so it's really putting some pressure on this Riverside defense.
Well, before this kick, we want to remind you can end your day with 4 hours of family comedies that everyone will enjoy. Defy the daily grind and dare to share the late night laughs. That's weeknights at 9 on the CW 18. Line drive kick. It will deflect and will be picked up back there by Marquise Jones. Out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Brought down by Braden Stone for the Generals. So a little over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Riverside still within 1 score here of the Generals.
I've got faith.
You've got faith.
I've got faith.
So you had a chance to talk with the players in practice this week. Did you share with them any type of play knowledge here with football, or was it strictly a business call?
It was a business call. I didn't want to ruin their chances by trying to give them my opinions.
I gotcha. They go to the right here, and tackled in the backfield, Jameer Hayes, brought down by Zach Bailey. He's come on here in this second half. That's his 4th tackle of the half.
Yeah, he's, technically a nose man, but he's moving all over, taking different gaps. Came into the backfield that time and threw Hayes for a loss.
They lost back to the 21-yard line, so a loss of 6 will bring up a 2nd and 16. We'll move Thomas to the far side. Williams here to the near side, the flanker. They'll split the backfield. They'll run the option. Hero's going to keep it, cut back up the middle. Got some running room. Trying to get to the edge on that right side across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. Going to be short of the first down, but a nice little option run that time by Izzy Tinajero, the quarterback.
He saw the pitch was covered, tucked the ball himself, ran up inside.
So a little more option look here for Riverside than we have seen most of the evening. Makes it a more third and manageable down here. 3rd and 5 to go here with 1:55 to play in the third quarter. This time to line up both Thomas and Williams here to the near side with Williams in the slot. They'll fake the handoff. Again, it's Tinajero trying to find room and not going to find anything there. Getting there first was Braden Stone once again, along with Aiden Mitchell, both coming in to make the play. So before this 4th down play, let's head back to the sideline for a report from Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, number 5 for Riverside. That safety defensive back, that's awfully good. Number 5, Mon Williams. He rolled his ankle in the second quarter. He keeps trying to get back on the field. They keep pulling him back, and he's limping pretty good, but he keeps trying. I just don't think he's going to be able to get back on the field the rest of this game, boys.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it. That would be a big blow to the Riverside team here in this second half. So a new punter in there, that was Thomas. Did a nice job, got it across midfield. King will let it roll dead at the 43. No, he's going to pick it up. And with the return here, he's going to run down that far sideline. Nobody touched him. It's a live ball. It's a touchdown for King. What a play. James Finley was back there. He never took a knee. He never took the knee. That ball was a live ball. It was rolling dead. Nobody had touched it. Finley picked it up, ran it down the far sideline for an apparent touchdown. but we have a conference in stripes here back at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, there are two things on that kick as well. The Riverside punter almost touched his knee to the ground as he tried to field that punt. Then he kicked it. They thought they had the tackle, but no whistle was blowing. The King player continued to run upfield.
The officials are talking about it. It was James Finley who waited till the very last minute to pick it up at the 43-yard line. If it stands, it'll be a 57-yard touchdown. Here's the call.
The ball came to rest. Neither team attempted to pick it up. The official who was covering it blew the whistle, indicating the ball was dead. It is King's ball. There is no touchdown. It's King's ball where the ball became dead.
The official did blow the whistle. Here's the look at it once again. Very close to taking a knee back there. And here's Finley coming into your picture now. Picks it up and gets past and just kept on running down the sideline. Thought they heard a whistle, which they did, and ran it in for an apparent score, but they'll rule the ball dead because neither team picked up the ball. It laid dead, and the official started to blow his whistle as Finley picked it up. Let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I spoke too early. Number 5, Amon Williams, back on the field. Looks like they're moving him into linebacker, getting him out of corner, getting him off safety, but he keeps getting in there, and they keep pulling him out, but he's back in playing inside linebacker, looks like.
Is indeed out there, Mike. Good catch. We saw him earlier trying to rework the tape job on that ankle, trying to allow him to go. So King ball, just short of their own 44-yard line. Boy, what an exciting play that was. Again, empty backfield, 3 receivers to the near side. Tally in motion, and it'll be Dupree up the middle. Gets tripped up across the 45 of Riverside. Great run by Dupree. Kiari Allen there to make the stop.
Yeah, one of the reasons they put Williams inside is to be able to take Kiari and move him into the defensive backfield. They've got him playing safety now, Kiari Allen, number 9.
We have Assistant Milwaukee Fire Department Chief Aaron Lipsky up in the booth with us here as we close out this third quarter, and Riverside's got some work to do here.
I got to tell you what, the other team has more points than us, which I've come to learn is not good. But I've got a full confidence that the Riverside Tigers are going to be able to turn this around.
You're here tonight as part of our salute to Milwaukee first responders, and again with the fire department looking for recruits. This is a good opportunity here at all these MPS games to talk to these individuals and tell them about a great career.
Yeah, absolutely. Between Milwaukee Police Department, Milwaukee Fire, Milwaukee Public Schools, great partnership here, and with you folks here bringing us here, it really gives us a chance to meet them.
That ends our quarter. Chief Lipsky, thank you so much for being up here tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your service. It's great. You protect the public.
King by 7 heading to the 4th. Fourth quarter begins with a first down play from the 43-yard line for the Generals, and it'll be Dupree breaking tackles. Dupree inside the 30 down the far sideline. Dupree lowers the shoulder inside the 10 and out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Kiari Allen and Ernest Blackshear both able to make the stop. King into the stretch red zone. It'll be first and goal just inside the 10-yard line. 34-yard run to the 9-yard line. Once again to the sideline, and Mike McGivern.
So Amon Williams, he tried it. Inside linebacker, he was in for one play. Guys, he's on the bench here, his foot's up, and now I think I'm correct when I tell you he's probably done for the night.
Yeah, we see the training staff working on it here from up here in the booth. There you get a look.
Yeah, too bad. An excellent player and maybe the heart and soul of that defense for Riverside.
1st and goal, Generals. Again, Talley in motion. Dupree, maybe a yard out of that at most. Like making that stop inside was Marcel Rash. That's the third brother that we were talking about. Montrell Marquel.
I would imagine the Rash family has to back the truck up at the store to bring the groceries home. 3 boys.
Oh my goodness.
Very active. And
there they are. Montrell, number 77, Marquel, 99. 2nd and goal. Ball just inside the 9-yard line. Dupree going to throw it up, looking for Cross, comes back for the ball, and he was out of bounds. And he comes up, Gimpy, grabbing the back of his leg, may have cramped up his Cross on that far sideline. Jerry Cross with 1 touchdown reception tonight. He's on that far sideline. And time will be called because of that injury. He's too close to the field.
2 TDs for Cross. 2 TDs.
So 10:53 to go here as they tend to Jerry Cross. Okay, we go down to our pre-taped interview from earlier tonight with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Here with Catherine Spitzer. Empire Beauty Schools, go to empire.edu. Thank you so much for being out here. We had talked not only high school kids and getting out of high school, but you recruit pretty much every age.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into our program, we do have a lot of older students. We've got students in their 20s, students in their 30s. It's never too late to go back and get your education.
Do you find that this is a perfect location for you guys to be able to recruit kids as they're finishing their school and thinking about what they're doing?
Yes, absolutely. I think really coming into the high schools is a great place for us to be. Also, we do scholarship opportunities for high school seniors as well. So it's a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks a lot for being out here.
Absolutely, thank you.
Boys, back to you.
Dupree wrapped up and hit the turf hard at the 10-yard line, so it sets up a 4th and goal for the Generals. They lead it by 7 here early in the 4th.
Jerry Cross coming back into the game, I'm sure on this particular 4th down situation, they'd love to throw the ball up to him and see if his height and a mismatch might work in their favor.
I misspoke earlier. He's got a couple of touchdown grabs tonight, and King will take a timeout here on offense. That is their timeout here with 10:10 remaining in this contest.
I'm sure Chief Lipsky would like to find a way to, maybe distract them. Maybe they'll start some sirens up.
Well, it's time now for our uncommon moment from tonight's ball game, brought to you by Concordia University. And it just occurred not too long ago. As Dupree looking for Cross, near interception. It bounced off the hands of Allen into the hands of Jerry Cross, who was able to score the touchdown. Our uncommon moment tonight brought to you by Concordia University. Live uncommon.
Well, you can see the tremendous height advantage Cross had with the 3 Riverside defenders around him.
Well, coming up following the game, stay tuned for our Champions Trophy presentation that's brought to you by Rudig Trophy. 4th and goal, Generals. They'll have a man in the backfield now. That is Lamar Webb. And they'll throw over the middle. Ball tipped again. Caught by Cross. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Generals. That was not Cross. That was Angel Toombs. Toombs able to get the catch off the deflection. The sophomore, 6'4". And King scores on 4th and goal.
Nice little dive fake, and then the pop pass to the tight end on that left side.
I believe that's his first touchdown catch of the year for Angel Toombs. One more look.
Only a sophomore.
Looked like Eric Young tipped the ball and landed right in the lap of Toombs. Once again, the Generals going for two. Quick toss. Get it out to Talley, and Talley is in for the two-point conversion. Big 2 points there. Makes it a 28-13 ball game with just over 10 minutes left. Great touchdown drive here. 6 plays, 56 yards. The 9-yard touchdown reception by Angel Toombs off the deflected ball.
Got 2 deflected touchdown passes tonight, but they're not going to award style points. I'm sure Coach Wozniak and offensive coordinator Anthony Dowry are happy with the results.
But again, embracing adversity here. The team down 2 of their starting players coming into this game, putting a running back in at quarterback, making what you can do, next man up theory.
Right, and we see that Amon Williams has had to leave the game for Rivers.
And a touchback off the kickoff, rolls into the end zone. Here's the 2-point conversion. Deion Talley, the point guard for the basketball team, just got it over the plane of the goal as his knees hit the turf for the 2-point conversion. Well, 2.5 men has moved. It's still on us on the same great station here at My 24, but at a new time. Catch it weeknights at 6 and 6:30 right here on Milwaukee's My 24. The Tigers have some work to do here on homecoming night. They are down 15 points with 10 minutes to play. Tenejeo's going to put it up. Going to go over the middle for a quick strike, and it's incomplete. Overled Jameer Hayes, just bolting over the middle of the field. It was Jalen Reed back there in coverage for the Generals.
Izzy Tenejero has put just a little too much on that pass. Went right past Jameer Hayes.
Sets up 2nd and 10. We'll put Collier here on the near side. Another speedster, another track athlete here in single coverage here on Kai Ross. They'll go the other way, left side, complete the pass out there to Thomas. And Thomas out to the 23 before he is, still let the play go here. He's just moving the pile forward and just picked himself up a first down.
Looked a bit like a rugby scrum there.
Daryl Burns, 48, leading a host of Generals in there. Another Gruber Law Office first down. Shows you the strength of Thomas there at 6'1", 160. Able to take that rugby scrum for an 11-yard gain and a Gruber Law Officer's first down. From the 31. Going to come back near side, post route. Completes to Collier. Across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. 16-yard pickup. Aiden Mitchell and Kai Ross there on the stop. Move the chains.
Yeah, in the year, Collier's got 5 touchdown receptions. I think Tenejero's got to find a way to spread that ball around and get it to some of those key receivers.
General player trying to get off the field, just does here at the snap. Tenejero again with some time. Rolling left, will scramble. Across midfield, will dart out of bounds, lead with that football, and will get an 11-yard pickup and another Gruber Law Office first down.
You're seeing the Riverside sideline as well as the players in the field get a little bit more enthusiasm now. They've had a couple plays break their way. Whether this can allow them to come back, we'll have to see.
They'll move Marvin Thomas to the left side as a single receiver. Trips here to the right side. Izzy Tenejero, the senior quarterback. Gets up the blitz. They pick it up. Tenejero on the run, has a man open, and he stumbled and fell as that ball was thrown short. It was Malik Williams, as he tried to cut back to the football, lost his footing.
And initially, Izzy might have been able to just turn that, upfield and get the gain again.
And you see Pat Wagner here on the sideline. He'll signal in a number. They've got those wristbands on, and he will go to that wristband and call out that particular play. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Once again, they'll move Malik Williams. Trips to the left side. Again, Collier here in single coverage with Kai Ross. Tenehiro progresses through his reads, finds Malik Williams over the middle, breaks a tackle at the 20, and wrapped up at the 11-yard line. 31-yard pickup down to the 11. First down, Riverside. Javon Bird making the tackle. Well, they looked for Williams earlier. Ball thrown short. That time hit him right in the middle of the field.
Williams just went off the field with a cramp.
Being tended to here on the near sideline as they work that out. 1st and goal. They'll hand it off. Hayes trying the left side, will be stopped at the 9-yard line. Ball came out. Let's see if they rule him down. King says they have it. There's been no signal yet from the officials. Cal Stanky signaling that it was down before the ball came out. Second and goal. Under 8 minutes to play, trailing by 15. Tenehiro with time to the near corner, going up for it and falling incomplete, thrown in double coverage, was looking for Collier. It was Kai Ross who broke it up. And again, Ross has been locked in that man coverage here on the near side with Collier tonight.
Yeah, Kai Ross has had, I think that's his 3rd pass breakup tonight. Done an excellent job.
First team all-conference last year. That's 4 passes defended tonight. Coming right at you here.
Yeah, when you think about the fact he was an all-conference running back,
yes,
but they knew they needed him on defense.
Makes the play there. Again, this is not a goal-to-goal situation here. This is they can get down to the 1-yard line for a first down. They will hand it off. Jackson got a touchdown earlier. Ball came out, picked up by Tenehiro. He dropped it and then fell on it back at the 12-yard line. The pigskin squirting around that field tonight. It is getting damp, that field getting wet, that ball getting slick.
While all this is going on, the clock is still running, and Riverside doesn't have time on their side.
I don't think Jackson quite had that ball secured squarely. And a timeout taken by Riverside. Well, earlier tonight, Mike had a chance to visit with the people from First and Bowl.
Hey guys, here with Brian McKenzie. He's the owner of First and Bowl. Go to firstandbowl.com for more information. Hey, you were talking about a really cool thing, a new special you guys are doing.
Yeah, for football season, we're trying to make the atmosphere really great for our customers. So we're doing a special where, based on how many, if you're wearing your team's gear, based on how many points they score, you get a percentage off. So for NFL and college. So come in, watch your team, score up some points, and have some great savings.
Man, that's awesome. Hey, last week we talked about the kind of the group stuff that you do and some team building stuff. You guys do that really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had a group in today that was there with 20 people, and they did a little mini tournament for their own, internally with their own organization, and had a great time.
Good. Hey, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. We thank the fine folks at First and Bowl for picking up sponsorship this year on our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. 4th down, Tenejero under pressure. Going to throw back over the middle. There was contact in the end zone, no flag. They rule it incomplete, and the Generals will take over on downs. Wow, I thought there was some contact back there running that route.
The receiver, expressed his opinion to the referee, but that didn't change the outcome.
To get one more look here, if we can, on that 4th down play. It's from the 13-yard line. And it was the pressure. Tenejero had to throw on the move. I don't think we quite
can't see it. It's right out of the screen.
It came right out of the frame there. So the Generals take over. 7:21 to play, leading by 15. Dupree tries the right side. Nothing there. Devin Perez, his 6th stop tonight. He has been a force in the middle for that Tiger defense. And again, the clock, the enemy here right now. Again, stay tuned. At the end of the game tonight, we will highlight our player of the game. That's brought to you by the United States Marines. So many candidates here. Hasn't been formally voted on yet.
No. We'll have a recount.
2nd and 10 from their own 13. Empty. 3 receivers here to the near side. 2 receivers right. Man in motion is Talley. Get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Another marker thrown. This has been a penalty-marred game tonight. It's taken any flow from both teams out of the equation tonight.
Five-yard face mask on the defense, 99.
Marquel Rash, the guilty party on the 5-yard face mask.
And sometimes when you get a huge group like that fighting and going on, it's inadvertent. It's not something done deliberately, hence the 5-yard penalty. But once again, it's working against Riverside, and that clock continues to roll.
It'll drop under 6 minutes to play. 2nd and 5. Following the penalty. Again going empty. 5 receivers, 3 to the near side. Dupree taking his time, going to wait for the back judge to begin his countdown. He's at 10. And when he sees him start waving the hand, that means he's down to 5. Dupree trying to hand it off. It goes through the hands of the defender, and it's recovered by Riverside. They have the football. Never got control of that toss from Dupree to Talley. Tyrell Hazelwood. He had an interception earlier tonight. Able to come up and make the fumble recovery. One more look. Neither Dupree or Talley got control of that, and then as Hazelwood came up with the recovery, looks like he fell
awkwardly, or did he twist it? Twist his knee as he initially planted to try to fall around the ball.
The way they're working on it, it might be a cramp.
Calf
or a cramp here. I've seen players from both teams cramping up here in the second half, despite the chilly temperatures.
Well, people
tonight.
don't realize, you're still sweating, you're still, getting your water level down. And they definitely seem to be working on that. And anybody that's ever had you know.
Pat Wagner, over 100 victories in his coaching career at Riverside. Kind of the glue that keeps it all together over there with this football program.
Right.
Well, while they continue to work on Hazelwood, we will step out. 5:26 remaining. Riverside recovering a fumble. They have life. Down 15. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. Salute to Milwaukee first responders. With Terry Kelly and Mike McGivern, John Weiser back with you at Pulaski Stadium. King, or I should say Riverside, recovering the fumble, ran a play, but it was a false start penalty. So we'll move him back 5. Move it back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 15. They can get to the 4 for the first down. The 2 receivers either side here for Tenejero, trying to take advantage of the turnover, now under pressure. And he'll be brought down from behind, got back across the line of scrimmage. Looked like Zach Bailey again, who's had an excellent second half here for the King defense, coming in to make the stop.
Time going now under the 5-minute mark.
Riverside with 2 timeouts remaining here. We're happy to report that Hazelwood is back here on the near sideline. Got back under his own power. They're still working out that cramp in that left leg. Now we've got official stopping play here on the near side. Timeout taken by Riverside. Their second timeout here of the half. Stops the clock with 4:22 to play. Coach, a couple of things tonight to talk about with this Riverside team. They have had trouble on the other side of the ball defensively, trying to track that empty backfield 5-receiver set, and when they move it into quads, nobody's moving on that motion.
They get outflanked. I know they've been very concerned about Dupree running the ball up the middle, and unfortunately when you've got a couple players go out then with injuries, now you've got some guys in not as accustomed to making the calls, the adjustments that have to be made to motion, trips, quads, whatever it might be.
And it's our Salute to Milwaukee First Responder Night here, part of our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. We had the pleasure of visiting with Milwaukee Police Chief Alfonso Morales in the second quarter, and we want to thank him for his visit tonight, and also from the Milwaukee Fire Department, Assistant Chief Aaron Lipsky joining us here in the third quarter tonight.
And you could see how both of those gentlemen were very enthusiastic about the young people they had a chance to interact with this week, and really wanted to share a message.
Tenejero, plenty of time, now under pressure, comes back the other way. He'll just unload it, and we'll throw it away. Good coverage in that end zone. That zone coverage, they just dropped 5 guys back and just dared Tenejero to try and find somebody open. So third down and 13. Ball at the 15-yard line for Riverside. Stops the clock with 4:06 to play.
Now, pretty much on the year, it's Riverside's been gaining 2 yards to every on run to 1 yard passing, and so this isn't going to be the strength of their offense.
And Riverside will burn their final timeout with 4:06 to play. So they are out of timeouts in a very one-sided discussion with head coach Pat Wagner.
I believe this would be a monologue, not a discussion. That's the way it's going. Because they're not only coaching for this game, you know, they know they're going to be in the playoffs, and they've got to get ready to rebound, let's say, from what seems to maybe be a defeat. What are we going to do next? Got to get your confidence back, and you've got to establish what you can do well.
Meanwhile, the King defense, Tom Wozniak is the D coordinator, works with that side of the football. He's been in the shirt sleeves tonight. Everybody else in jackets and hoodies and everything else. Not Tom, no.
But he's not in shorts. We want to.
No. That's the other storyline tonight, too. You saw a shot of Amon Williams. He went out with a rolled ankle, tried to make a go of it here in the second half, and unable to play here in the second half. Tenehiro going to heave it up, looking at the back of the end zone for Collier, knocked away. Incomplete. Kai Ross again, his 5th pass defended tonight for Ross, and he gets a little pat from Collier saying, hey, you got me again.
Excellent job. 5'9", 175 pounds senior. You know, he's really done an excellent job.
We mentioned all-conference offensive player last year. Look at that, getting up to the highest point, knocking that one away. That's 5'9" Ross going up against 6'2" Collier.
Right. Collier was open in the corner of the end zone there.
So desperation here. 4th and 13. Trailing, this might be the ball game here for Riverside. They cannot stop the clock as Tenehiro will go over the middle. Caught! Malik Williams for the touchdown. Skinny post route that time for Williams. And there is life on this near sideline for the Tigers.
You know, Malik coming into the game had only had 3 catches all year.
Got a couple of them here tonight. 5-play, 15-yard drive, the 13-yard touchdown strike.
Well, if they can get this 2-point conversion, it's still a 1-score game.
Hayes and Jackson in the backfield. Tenehiro will hand it off. And running it in for 2 is Malik Williams. Yeah, we've got a very curious game going now with under 4 minutes to play, 28-21. Riverside to within 1 score.
Perhaps that discussion / monologue that Coach Wagner had with the team had a little bit of an impact.
Just an inside trap play for Malik Williams for the 2-point conversion. Williams with the 8 points on that drive. Is this too early for an onside kick? Do you need to onside it? You're out of timeouts, so perhaps this would be the call.
Well, that's certainly what Rufus King anticipates. They've got 10 men up to try to field this kick.
Jameer Hayes, the senior, does the kickoffs for the Tigers. A little short kick, covered up immediately by King at the 44-yard line. That was Dupree who was in on that good hands play. Able to cover up. A little pop-up kick. Did a nice job.
Well, Mike Dupree has certainly done well.
Yes, he has.
Pressed into service.
Have to give this King team credit. I mean, they knew going into this game they were going to be missing their quarterback plus one other defensive player because of disqualification in last week's game, having to miss this week's contest. And they're 3 minutes and 51 seconds away from getting victory number 7. Dupree coming around the near side. Cuts it upfield, gets to the 45-yard line and dropped there at the 46. Again, Riverside cannot stop the clock.
And Dupree was intelligent, made sure he was tackled and stayed in bounds.
Demetrius Johnson was there to make the tackle for Riverside. We get this play away, there'll be about 3 minutes left. Defense called upon here by the Tigers to make a stop. And again, because they burned a couple of timeouts on that last drive, they cannot stop the clock. 2nd and 8. Callie in motion. Dupree going to run the option back the right way. He's going to keep it. Going to be tackled in the backfield. There immediately was Marcel Rash. Part of that triplets, Montrell, Markel, and Marshall. Be a loss back to the 42-yard line, a loss of 4. Sets up a 3rd and 12, 2.5 minutes and counting remaining here. King taking a lot of time here to get this play in. They may take the clock all the way down. They have 1 timeout remaining here. They may need to use it. Wozniak will use it here. So a clock stop with 2:07 to play. Each team now out of timeouts. A 1-score ball game. King will be facing a 3rd and 12 when play resumes.
Well, Terrell Freeman, defensive coordinator for Riverside, is saying if you can force that guy out of bounds on your tackle, do that. He's also saying if one guy goes in and makes contact, the other guy's got to come in and try to strip that ball away. Anything that they can do so they can get another opportunity to put points up on the board.
3 takeaways by this Riverside defense tonight. Interception, a couple of fumble recoveries, a fumble recovery in the end zone by Talon Nash, the first score of our ball game tonight. Again, Dupree pressed into service as quarterback tonight. Drag a man in motion. The snap rolled back to the quarterback, and Dupree's going to be stopped for a loss back near the 37-yard line. That snap never got back there. Might have been Perez along with Eric Young able to finish off Dupree. Now we'll see how King plays this out. Each team out of timeouts, so
both teams' kicking games have not exactly been exemplary tonight.
Riverside will get this ball back with time on the clock. They will have some time here.
This is a surprise.
Well, Dupree's going to run the offense here. Again, Webb in motion. And we got a delay of game here against King. That might force Wozniak's hand now. You may have to punt this one away.
It was already 4th and 14. Not quite sure what the thinking was in terms of not kicking the ball.
I can only assume here, Coach, but because it was 4th and 14, perhaps Dupree, if he gets the ball across the 45, maybe to midfield, and doesn't get the first down, you're still going to make a team go 50 yards with about a minute left. So this will be 4th and 20 now. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line.
Well, special team coaches Sam Schaefer and Calvin Thomas for Rufus King had something in mind perhaps on this. I'm not sure.
Again, Webb in motion. They'll run the reverse. Talley coming around, breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets it upfield, and he's stopped at the 34-yard line. Riverside will get it back with 1:08. Wow. They call for the reverse. Eric Young was not fooled. One more look.
Almost tackled in the backfield.
Well, they ran that play earlier, Coach, and fumbled it away.
Cornelius Bowie initially, stopped that up.
Okay.
Gives
Riverside some life, you bet. 34-yard line, out of timeouts. They need a touchdown and a conversion. Tenejero gonna go for it all. Looking for Collier, can't catch up to it, incomplete.
He had him open.
Yes, he did. Good coverage out there by Javon Bird. Didn't waste any time. That was a good toss by Tenehiro.
Right. Excellent protection as well.
Minute 3 to play. 2nd and 10 from the general 34-yard line. Williams wide to the left here. There's a slot receiver. And that is Emil Jackson. Tenehiro under pressure now. Steps up, going to throw it back. That's behind the back. It's a backward pass, but it goes out of bounds. They're going to rule it incomplete.
Incomplete. I think it was slightly forward.
Okay. 56 seconds to play. 3rd and 10, Tigers.
You know, you do have time to complete a pass, get the first down, spike the ball, and get another shot. If you can get a little closer to the end zone.
They did rule it a backward pass that went out of bounds. So it went out at the 37-yard line, so it will be a loss. We bring up a 3rd and 13 here, back at the 37-yard line. And the officials will talk it over.
Yeah, I'd like to see that on replay because
head linesman made the ruling over there. And they did rule it an incomplete pass.
Right, I did think it was slightly forward.
So 3rd and 10 officially now from the 34 for Riverside. Plenty of time. Far sideline. Incomplete, looking for Emil Jackson. A lot of contact there. The officials let it go. Aiden Mitchell was the man in coverage there.
Well, it comes down to this, 4th down.
And again, Riverside without any timeouts. Coach Wagner's got to get this one in right away. You can see him out there walking out toward the numeral at the 40-yard line. The ball game right here for Riverside. Trailing by 7, facing 4th and 10 from the 34-yard line. Again, Collier, single coverage here. Kai Ross not on him. Ross is on the far side of the field. Let's see if they come back this way. Tenehiro on the scramble. Gonna throw it. Completes to Malik Williams. Makes the catch inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 15 and a first down.
And I believe he was tackled out of bounds, stopping the clock.
One more look here. Good patience on the part of Tenehiro. He was looking all over the field, finally found Williams on his last read. Kai Ross was there to make the stop. Got a penalty marker down at the 20-yard line.
Wide receiver lined up in the neutral zone, 5 yards.
So 1st and 15.
Dead ball, therefore there was no incomplete pass. Dead ball, therefore there was no incomplete pass. First down, 15.
Very good call there. So change the down marker to first down, as that occurred before the snap. A little more room to which to work here. Tenehiro getting pressure. Coming to the near sideline, will throw it. It is caught by Collier. They rule him out of bounds. There is a penalty marker inside the 10-yard line as well.
Collier's got to be careful. You saw him spike the ball after it was ruled out of bounds. The flag, I think, was thrown earlier.
Illegal contact or defensive holding here, I got to believe. It's been a busy night for Cal
Defensive
Stanky.
holding, player 20 of white. High school rule is 10 yards.
See if we can pick it up here in the replay. Marker already flew. You see Collier demanding the ball, and yeah, he was out of bounds. That foot was out of bounds. So they'll move it inside the 10-yard line on the penalty. So it'll be at the 9, first and goal. Officials stopping it here once again. Officials wanting to decide, I guess, where to spot the football here. Again, we're in the fourth, late here, 31 seconds to play. King leading by 7. Riverside taking over on downs has taken it inside the 10-yard line here. If it was a holding call, 10-yard penalty.
Not a 15.
I think they marked off 15 here. Maybe that's what the confusion is. Meanwhile, this delay has allowed Coach Wagner to have a conversation with his quarterback, Tenejero, to get a couple of plays in here, knowing that ends up in bounds. They can't stop the clock.
And Tenejero has to recognize that he can't afford to take a sack. Game will be over. So if the man isn't open, he's got to make a very quick decision and rifle that ball out of bounds.
Well, the filibuster continues. I think there's also some confusion with the down marker.
They have it indicated that it's second down. See one of the King players clapping in the background. I don't know if that's to try to warm up because he's had to spend so much time waiting for this decision, or whether he liked what he was hearing.
They're going to move the football back up the field here, I think. There you get a look at Pat Wagner intently watching this conference going on. And they get it right. They move it back out to the 12-yard line. Well, I'm all in favor of getting it right.
Right.
Cal Stanky, our referee tonight, explaining to Coach Wagner what was going on here. So it'll be second and goal from the 12. That should be an automatic first down, I would think. A defensive penalty, that should be first and goal, right?
Everybody knows what's going on except us, I guess. We're not, we have not had a word from Mr. Stanky. And they're still discussing what the situation is.
It was a defensive penalty, so would that not necessitate an automatic first down? Well, it's not a first and goal. They're reset the chains over there. They can get inside the 10.
It's a 2nd and 5, approximately 2nd and 4.
There you go. That's part of the issue. But again, I'm on the opinion if it was a defensive foul, shouldn't it be first down from that spot at the 12? Now it'll be 2nd and 5. Just inside the 15-yard line. Here we go. Tenejero throwing on the run, deflects off the receiver and out of bounds. Dangerous there. Emil Jackson had it deflect off his shoulder. There were a couple of King players ready to pounce.
We've seen deflected balls go and throwing a little bit behind as well.
Now sets up 3rd down. Clock stop, 26 seconds to play. And Riverside needing a touchdown and a conversion here. Thomas and Williams. You see Williams now will head to the near side, lined up in a slot here to the near side, along with Collier. In trouble is Tenejero, and down he goes. That could be the ball game. Aiden Mitchell coming up to make the sack. They got to get to the line of scrimmage. They are out of timeouts. It'll be a loss back to the 26-yard line. 7 seconds to play. They can't spike it. It's 4th down. They look to snap it. Here we go. Final play of the game. He'll heave it up, looking for Collier, thrown short, and King makes the interception. Ball game over. And guess who? Kai Ross. Able to take it away from Collier, and King has defeated Riverside here tonight. The big play, Aiden Mitchell, the sack on 3rd down. Riverside was out of timeouts. Could not stop the clock, so they were forced to rush the play, and with 2 seconds left, they got the snap off. Kai Ross, even though he was out of bounds, took it away from Collier, and that picture said it all there. King remains undefeated as they knock off Riverside here tonight, 28-21. Back with our post-game report right after this, your Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights on My 24. About as exciting a ball game tonight as we've seen in quite a while here in Richardson Division play, as King holds on. They get a 4th down stop as time expired to knock off Riverside 28-21. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings now, with Riverside's only victory coming last year, that 43-0 ball game.
Yeah, and you have to really tip your hat to Rufus King. The Generals overcame a number of adverse situations.
One of those players that overcame it was their stand-in quarterback tonight. He's with Mike McGivern on the sideline.
Hey, guys, so U.S. Marine player of the game. First time he's played quarterback. Mike Dupree, not a bad way to start this thing, Mike.
Thank you. I can't do it without my offensive line. I had great teachers. My backup quarterback, Simon, and Derek, Coach Waz, of course, but we couldn't win without our defense. Our defense really saved us.
Hey, I got to tell you, you come in and knowing you had to play quarterback and you're running the ball a lot. A couple of those throws you made were awfully good throws. Receivers catching the ball. That was fun to watch.
Yes, it was. It was very scary throwing it, but I had trust in my receiver and I had trust in the play and just make the play.
Hey, did you sleep well last night? Were you nervous?
I was nervous. I was up all night.
You know what? That's U.S. Marine Mike Dupree. I tell you what, you got to love a guy who steps up like that. Quarterback's not going to be able to play tonight, so this kid, first time ever, certainly the way that Marines do it, he took care of his business.
Yeah, it's all about stepping up. You did that today, so congratulations. Yeah.
There you go, Mike. Boys, back to you.
Mike Dupree, our player of the game tonight. 22 carries, 148 yards and a touchdown. 3 for 6, 19 yards, 2 touchdown passes tonight. Here's the highlight package of our Marine Corps player of the game. First one up the middle. Nice shifty move there.
Oh, he put his halfback experience to good use tonight.
See it again coming around the near side. Down the sideline, and that set up their third score tonight. So Michael Dupree, our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Part of our salute to first responders tonight. Once again, here's Mike.
Coach Waz, I'll tell you what, I just said you must be really proud of this group. You said, no doubt, man. This is a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great game. You know, it's one for the books.
Yeah, it is one for the books, and you got to give Dupree a lot of credit, man, because he came in, like he said, he didn't sleep last night, never played quarterback. You put the game in his hands.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about everybody had to step up and do their part, and Mike stepped up a whole bunch. Defense played their hearts out, and, you know, we just had guys filling in everywhere.
Hey, I'm saying that, you know what, you're right. We talk about Mike Dupree because he's our U.S. Marine player of the game, but that defense made big plays when they had to, Coach.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we depend on them all the time, and now we know we got more guys that we can depend on.
You bet, boys. Good luck, Coach. Good to see you. Good luck the rest of the way. Well done, boys.
Mike, thank you. Our trophy presentation brought to you by Rudig Trophy. King a winner tonight over Riverside. Back with a final word from Pulaski Stadium after this. King remains perfect in the Richardson division. They take control of that division with a victory tonight over Riverside, 28-21. They have one more game left, Milwaukee Bayview next week, and then the crossover game in Week 9 for the conference championship. Meanwhile, for Riverside, their first loss of the year, they have Bradley Tech on their schedule, a Tech team that's 3-1 coming into contest in the division. That'll be on Saturday, October 12th, before they play their crossover game. An exciting one tonight. Next week, join us from Martin Luther High School in Greendale. It'll be the Angels from Racine St. Catherine taking on Greendale Martin Luther. That's next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Remember, this season our games will be rebroadcast on Friday nights at 7 right here on My24. That'll do it tonight from Pulaski Stadium for our entire My24 sports group. For Sean Raffaelli and Dan Pollack working on our stats and our spotter. For Terry Kelly and Mike McGivern, John Weiser saying good night from Pulaski. King a winner, 28-21.